Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, episode number 136 of From the Sidelines. It's still a Tuesday, but it's a little earlier for us. Our boys got to make some last-minute arrangements after this so they can get out to Tampa just later on this week. But our public release, well, it's going to be after Tampa. So this is why, boys, you got to be on the Patreon. You got to be signed up so you get the show early, right when we're done recording it. So some of the topics tonight, they may be a little bit in the past, but feel free to laugh at our predictions and see if we were right or wrong, and check us out. We also got a lot of stuff to talk about in general from the past week, so there'll be new content either way. We do appreciate all you guys tuning on in. Let me go ahead, bring in my co-hosts who are here every week on the show. They help me out, and they keep us on the air. Stephen Hatch, we'll go to you first this week, buddy. How you doing, man?
You know, it feels good. Back in town for a week, and now I'm gonna be gone again. You know, it's the life of a paintball player, and dude, it is amazing. You know, I'm blessed to be here. So let's get into it.
Yeah, you're feeling it, bro. You're like 2015 Impact right now. Are you going to Europe 4 times this year?
All right, nah, not even. I'm not even close to Mr. Worldwide like they are. But you know, that's the goal. Right. That's the goal we're reaching for.
Okay, well, yeah, maybe we'll get there one of these days. Our other co-host, who decides to travel never and does as minimal as he can, he's going out to Tampa though, so that's good at least. Brando Baird, you're going to be competing at this next event. How you feeling, buddy?
Feeling good. The off season feels both long and short. It's weird, you know. Just we're playing damn near every weekend still, but God, it just feels like no time's passed since World Cup. Jesus Christ, that's crazy.
It feels like the summer break was longer than the off season.
Yes.
If I'm being honest, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna respectfully disagree with you guys. January was the longest month of fucking ever. So yeah, I'm glad it's gone by a bit and we're getting back into the swing of things. Boys, real quick, let's talk about our sponsors. Let's get that out of the way so we can talk about all the juicy things we got to talk about tonight. First up, like they are every week, Liquid IV, the awesome hydration multiplier. Make sure you're grabbing some of this before you head out to Tampa. You're gonna need it out there. It's gonna be hot. It's gonna be muggy. You're gonna need some extra hydration, and the perfect product for that is Liquid IV. They got their sugar and their sugar-free formula. You can find both of those online at their website, liquidiv.com. They also have all their great flavors and the other formulas as well. The energy booster, the immune support. They've got a whole bunch of great ingredients or great options online at their website, liquidiv.com. Go check it out. Use promo code Mafia_Mafia or the link down in the description. Just, you know, makes us look good to them. Helps support the show as well. And yeah, we appreciate Liquid IV's support, and they've been with us pretty much since the beginning. Let's keep it moving. We got NECTR Energy. They're up next. Had to throw one of these in pre-show. Get it pepped up. Get ready to go for this earlier show in the day. NECTR.energy. It's where you're going to find more information about this product. It's the awesome little energy pouch. It's going to look similar to maybe a Zyn tobacco pouch, something of that sort. But the big difference, it has no nicotine or tobacco. It is just caffeine and a neurotropic in this product. So it's going to get you energized a little bit, focused back on the task at hand. It's a great product. We enjoy using it on the show. I know Hatch uses it during his drives. I use it when I'm, you need to get picked up for the show, because now I'm recording super late at night because these boys wanted to stay on Pacific Standard Time. I got outvoted on that one, 2 versus 3. But NECTR Energy, head over to their website, NECTR.energy. Promo code MafiaProductions, all one word over there. That's how you're gonna get a buy 2 get 1 free. So throw 3 cans in your cart. See if you try some flavors out. See which one's your favorite, and then yeah, you can grab more down the line. Thank you to NECTR Energy. We appreciate their support on the show. One more time, promo code over there is MafiaProductions. All one word. And then next up, we got Welts Clothing, weltsclothing.com. They do great things. First Wednesday of every month is Welts Wednesday. They go ahead and drop a limited edition apparel item. Could be a shirt, jersey strap, hats, beanies sometimes. They got a lot of different things that they do over at weltsclothing.com. They also do a lot of support for the local Texas teams, as well as paintball in general. So we love them. They're a great company and a great group of guys, and we appreciate their support over here on the show. If you want to go check out some of their merchandise, head over to weltsclothing.com. Use promo code FTS and save yourself some money at checkout. All right, boys, that's all the sponsors. It's all the good things. We're here. We're into the podcast. Let's get it started right away. Boys, you played this layout for Tampa. You played practice. How did the practice weekend go?
Honestly, ton of fun. The layout is wild. That a mega fortress of, the sacrificing circle in the middle.
Yeah, the pinwheel.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. And if I'm being honest, you can play the field so aggressive because the gaps aren't really big enough to hold. Some of them, right? At least there were multiple times where I was able to I tried it probably a total of 5 times over the weekend, and I probably got shot once running and gunning to the 50. Relatively quickly. It's like if one certain gun is not on you, that's it. So for sure, take your opportunities, take your chances, take a risk.
Yeah, I mean,
even for sure.
I was watching, lower divisional guys play it, but I was seeing people like L step all the way out to like the D3 or, D3 and then quickly get up to the 50. There was guys who they blew out the whole D side in 20 seconds and, won a point before the snake side even knew what was going on. Yep. It definitely seems like you got to make sure you know what the fuck's happening on the D side or else you're going to lose points pretty quick.
Yeah, it's going to be a bloodbath on both sides, honestly. But that Doritos side's going to be fucking fast. I said it just walking the field. I told a couple people that I think it's gonna get really hard to get out wide on that snake side. Mm-hmm. There are several shots, right, that can shoot the wide snake runners. And yeah, come mid Saturday, all day Sunday, it's gonna be fucking hard to get out there. So that side will slow down, I think, but the Dorito side, there's not much. There's just not much.
Very blind. It's really hard to contain the other side of the field is Dorito side.
For sure, and you have to be in a middle spot and pumping paint through the gaps, not just 3 ball in here and there. Like if you are not pumping that 100% on your gun,
you don't have enough time. Yeah,
100%. Like I probably said it multiple times on this podcast, where you kind of have to choose your lanes, right? When there's 4 total lanes, it's you have to go 1 to 3, because if you go 1 to 2, you already missed your shot. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So hard to break that down on an audio perspective.
Actually, the lead time of paintballs, it takes about 50 to 70 milliseconds to get to the target. So if you try to hit for where they're at right now, the shot will be behind them. So
it's 1.75 seconds box to box technically. So I completely agree with you on this hypothesis.
You need to lead the target, Hatch. You need to lead it.
Shoot where they're going, not where they are. Like that?
Exactly. Yeah. That's a great one.
I think the first time I ever heard that was on a whaling movie. It was a whaling movie where they were killing whales.
Whaling?
And the son didn't want to kill the whale, so he's missing on purpose. And the dad is shoot where they're going, not where they're at. And obviously he was missing because he didn't want to hit a whale.
Son, we gotta kill these fucking semen whales, all right? We need to capture their whale oil, okay?
Yeah. So ever since then that movie did help.
Is that what stuck in your head?
Yeah, it did help me with paintball.
That was the thing. Yeah. There you go.
Feels good.
Shoot where they are, not where they're not.
Yep. So, hey, semi-pro tip right here. Semi-pro tip right there. So
Semi-pro. Former pro elite player pro tip, by the way.
Former semi-pro, because I'm not allowed to say that. Former pro elite, currently semi-pro.
All right, we've taken this bit way too fucking far, Hatch. So let's get back to practice weekend. Who did you guys play for practice?
Honestly, we played ourselves, and we played Sacramento Pink. That was our main thing, where it was we were playing ton of scenarios, ton of drills on Saturdays, just kind of figuring out, breaking down the field. What are the important things to know on the field, and what are the certain scenarios that we need to set up to make the other team lose, And it was a huge learning experience. I was getting just fucked up in the beginning on Saturday, and then once I kind of learned the way the field is, the bounce shots, the spots to avoid, because there are so many bounce shots.
There's a lot of bounce shots on this field.
I was definitely getting a lot better once I was figuring out the field for sure. But what about you, Brando?
Yeah, breaking out those 3-on-3 situations, knowing what spots not you don't want to be in late into the games, right?
Yep.
Because you're just gonna get pinched out, dude. Whether you're up the front, up the middle or the back line or some shit, they get out wide so fast at times. When it breaks down, you're gonna get pinched. Don't want to be in there. The bounce shots are fucking nice, dude. Yeah, some of them are nasty.
Brandon, you sound like a PTSD vet from Vietnam right now. They can get out so wide, man. The Vietcong, they're in the trees.
They're in the Doritos, man.
Dude,
it's how you said it. Did you have a fun time at practice?
At times, dude. I really hate that goddamn back center.
Okay, yeah.
Jesus. Valid for sure. I'm not a fan of that back. I'm not even a fan of those 2 center towers. I actually, if I'm being honest, I hate those center towers.
Yeah,
They're good spots to hold, but bro, there's just so many ways to die. So many ways to die.
I think if you're taking it off the rip to shoot off either the snake side, I think it could be very powerful, but you need to get out of there quick. Like you're not staying alive 10, 20 seconds into the game.
No,
100%.
No,
right?
you hear a call out.
It's got a great shot if someone's trying to like run snake off the break, but you get the fuck
Once
out
you
of there.
miss that shot and you already see him go through, it's like, bro, get out of there.
Yeah.
Get out of there. Right.
Yeah.
And another thing is, the back center only has like that eyes for the snake off the break, and that is it. Right. The Dorito eyes isn't even the back center. You know, to where even if you have two guys doubled up back there, you're still kind of missing information on the Dorito side.
Yeah.
The wide guy on the Dorito side is the one with the information on who went the farthest, and that's one thing that I think a lot of teams are going to struggle with for sure. So I'm definitely excited to see how it plays out.
Yeah, puts the communication on a different person on the team than it usually is on.
Absolutely, 100%. And that's one thing that I myself have tried to learn a little bit more is more of that quarterbacking position, because there was a point where me and Brando were playing. I was the one, he was the two, roles reverse where he gets in front of me, and then he's like, all right, I got this, shoot the bounce, handle my old job. And I'm just like, got it, bro. You know? All that stuff happens so fast.
That was the day that Hatch stopped respecting Brando. He's like, you sit back here and shoot bounces? This shit's easy, dog. Like,
no, let me tell you, I'm like this. I'm like shooting this. He's like, shoot the bounce, Hatch, shoot the bounce. I'm like, oh, all right, got it.
I was going to say, you're just laid on the Dorito, just holding it. Loading
and I'm like, Brando, I got it. And then
like, is this all twos do? Wow.
No joke. I shot like 3 pods on this bounce shot. Right to where I reach back and I go, oh fuck, hey Brando, I need a care package. Not even a single second of hesitation. Reaches into his pack, throws me a pod. Boom, we win the point. It was quick. Right? That point, beautiful. we have it all on. We have some footage of it. You know, maybe I'll post it. We'll see. But yeah, the layout is just so much fun. Chemistry and camaraderie are what's going to shine on this field for sure.
Yeah, some shit's going to go down.
Layout.
I definitely do. I think that I mean, if you're by yourself and you're far on the Doritos, oh man, you're getting bunkered for sure. You are getting fucked up if you're not watching that wire, right? And even if you are watching that wire, there's going to be times where if they're double teaming you, they watch the wire, second guy comes highway and just messes you up. And with that inside snake beam on the Dorito side, bro, you can live and you can jump in that and live, you know?
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, too, I saw guys like constantly making the mistake at Outlaw of trying to go run down the 50 and not realizing their 2 was smart enough to be right behind them.
Yeah. So, are you talking about in that little juice box in the snake?
No. I'm talking about on the Dorito side still. People would come try to like run down that brick, and the 2 just moved up into the Doritos behind him, and cool, he's watching the wire, and boom, he lights you up before you even have a chance to get the brick guy.
For sure.
Yeah.
And it's like you. Go ahead.
And I mean, it was good on them. You got to recognize you got to be close to your Dorito player to protect him on this field. You can't be like super far behind him.
That's what I was just gonna say. Because the eyes are so bad on that Dorito side. At first, I was kind of staying in the back center because there's like a little slit that I could see. Informational
slit to where you can see and get that information. Hey, they're in a danger zone.
That's it. But anywhere else, it's like they put you in really quick and they make a move, and I have no idea. So like I was staying in the back center way too long, and like that's something I recognize. Like, dude, fuck it, let me get right behind my Dorito guy, and we'll both be blind, but at least we're protecting each other. So,
exactly. Yes. You just got to work as a team over there. It's got to be, one guy's got to be able to protect the wire, and then someone else working on the inside.
100%. And you have to have a call where it's like, hey, we are sacrificing eyes to set a trap. You know what I'm saying? Where let them get up to the 50, because to them it's a free move, because obviously the 2 eyes guys are in the Doritos, right? And so they're matched up. They're taking more ground. Or you take more ground, honestly.
It's like with raccoons, man. If you want to have a pet raccoon, sometimes you got to leave the trash lid open. And then that pet raccoon's going to come in, and then you get it with a net and keep it in your home and put a collar on it and call it Ronnie, and it's great. And I love Ronnie.
Let's go. Ronnie's my guy, bro.
I don't know the legality of this in my state, so this is a joke.
Yeah. That's why they're raccoons and not... Never mind.
Hey, one thing that Aaron taught me is that you can own a duck,
Christ,
and no one really would say shit. That's one thing I learned.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. God, I want a raccoon, bro. They're sick, dude.
That's cool.
But yeah, I just liked your bear trap analogy, because you got to set the trap over on that D side. That's going to be, you're not really going to have a gunfight opportunity. So the way you're going to get a body advantage over there is making them make a mistake.
100%. And I remember there was a point where we were playing against each other, and I'm playing against Cedar, right? I'm in the Doritos, he's in the 50 Dorito. Like, he has dominance on me, right? And I
dude,
snap
it's
him
so
out.
hard to fucking. I'm sorry.
Even if you have dominance in the 50, bro, I'm snapping you out.
This is how bad it is. Brandon just like interrupted someone. When was the last time that's happened on fucking FTS?
Episode 28.
Yeah,
that's the last time.
So goddamn, it's got our boy talking up.
Without a doubt. I mean, dude, there are times where they are literally living behind their gun because that bounce shot is so good. And I was telling Cedar, I'm like, bro, the way how you do it is get low, go to their side through the little beam where's those juice boxes, and set a trap, right? Then at that point, I come up behind you. I have the 50, right? I'll chill there all day and let them shoot a bounce shot at me, right? And then if they do try to come and get me, we have the trap open. He's laying in that little inside. And I think that's one thing that the NXL is definitely starting to do more is those sneaky snakes where you can kind of get to their side, wait around the corner, and then they're going to crawl
fucking
around.
Beams now.
Yes.
So you can make those like lay down opportunities, whereas before it just had to be kind of essentially beams for the snake.
Yeah, honestly, I keep forgetting that we have that many beams, but I mean, every single Dorito side has.
You forget a
two
lot,
fucking
Hatch. It's
beams.
okay.
Yeah, I do forget a lot, but that's just one of those things where paintball changes so much, right? Obviously, they're trying new ways on how to.
Blood. We used to have a wall, man. Like we've
I
got
played with
that
the
was
wall.
crazy.
Dude, okay, I even played with the A, like the.
That's cool. Yeah.
I even played with the A, right? I didn't
A
play
was
with
the
the big ol'
predecessor
X
to the
back in the day.
X. Yeah.
Yeah,
We
literally.
had the X,
it was
the A, and then the wall.
Yeah, literally, it was just an X just cut in half with the bottom half of the
Yep.
X, and that's it.
Yep.
So, dude, paintball has really changed since I first played. It really has,
Yeah, and now we have
Brought to my
like
attention.
Norse hieroglyphics in the middle of our field. Thank you, Jason.
Yes, thank you.
Tell me when
I
you
think
look at
it
the
looks
top-down
good.
view, you don't see the goddamn fucking compass tattoo that I have on my chest. It looks like that, bro.
I think that the layout. At least I always try to make a face out of it. I'm like, what
This
kind
is
of
an easy
creature
one.
Yeah,
can
I
draw?
thought it was like a
Easy one for the
Hindu
face.
symbol.
Hindu?
Yeah,
Well, no,
kind
more
of.
Norse. Let's make it cool. More Norse.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, this layout is absolutely insane. It's a race to the 50s. I think it's going to be smart paintball players are going to be the ones who win. Dude, I'm excited to put my skills to the test, especially at the start of the season.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm fucking sick and tired of losing, but I'm just saying that now.
Nice. So you guys 2 days out of Capital Edge.
Yep.
Is that all you guys had to talk about?
Yep,
Yeah,
dude,
just
bro, Sunday, dude, it
14
was
minutes
fucking
of content
raining, bro.
from 2 days
No.
of practice.
No,
Jesus Christ, man.
Hey, all I'm
This
all I'm
topic's
saying
supposed
is,
to go longer, Hatch.
no, without a doubt. So I was grinding really hard this weekend, not only on paintball but the content aspect of it, right? Because obviously I want to make sure that we are.
God, I wanted you to say not only in paintball but also in Magic the Gathering, and I was gonna be like, my man.
Hey, I know you like that one picture I put with Chatterfang. It was a Yumi and Anthony with the Mr. Krabs. Chatterfang.
Yes, we saw your meme. That's like 3
Yep.
weeks ago for people on the pod, so it's okay.
Hey, we never talked about it on here, so I had to bring it up.
It's okay. I was making a throwaway joke, but what you were talking about doing the content grind, you're doing a lot more content. You love your Polaroid camera, bro. It's your favorite thing.
I do. I really
He
do.
does.
And I am getting some good photos with it for sure.
Man's fucking Pollock or Jackson Pollock of this era, just walking around with that thing strapped to his hip.
I try to, it may make me look like the gayest guy at the fucking field, but you know what? At least I'm getting some decent photos, bro.
It's funny when you see out of the corner of your eye.
It looks like a European manned handbag. It's so funny.
Hey man, all I'm saying, you know what's really not gay about it? My girlfriend got me the satchel bag for it. So hey, come. It's
true.
Don't come
Fair
to me
enough.
for that, man.
Fair
Most
enough.
ungay thing possible,
Hey,
right?
Yep, that's
so. I'm rocking it with
did
confidence.
it for you, thus it cannot be gay.
Right?
Is the rule.
So, right? It feels good. I've been on my guys. Brando, you can attest to it. I've been on my guys. I'm like, guys, let's make sure that we are shooting video. Like, even if it's the shittiest thing that you can pop, like, if we all bring it together, we can make something. Right? And
Yep.
that's the big thing that I'm trying to
better
convey.
than nothing.
Exactly, right. Shout out to Dylan Fout. Keep making things. You know what I'm saying? That's one of those things where it really does stick in my mind, and he's really big inspiration to me where it comes to, you know, what I want to work at in paintball, right? Especially with the new stuff that you know, the Irony Kids is coming out. All That Matters came out. Like, dude, there's so much paintball stuff that's like, I mean, the PB Fit
Road
video,
to
the
Road
Fit
to Champions.
doc.
I
Yep.
thought that was awesome. Did you guys end up watching that?
Yeah,
I
I
did.
watched it with Anthony. We watched that. We will talk about All That Matters a little bit later on.
Yep.
But yeah, no, there's been a lot of great stuff that's come out. Fav also released a video. I haven't gotten a chance to watch it yet.
I did
I've
see
been
that one.
so fucking busy since Thursday. I was telling Brando pre-show, and he was laughing at me. So yeah, dude, there's been a lot of great content. It's been, you know, beginning of the year. It's that breath of kind of fresh air that everyone's like, oh shit, we got paintball to go to. There's a tournament. Everyone's excited. So it's definitely a fun time in the game right now.
100%, especially with all of the roster changes. Right now, we're really going to be able to see what, you know. I mean, literally in a few days, we're going to see all of these roster changes put to the test. Right? Obviously,
Yeah.
Dynasty is a completely new, like, reformed team, but obviously they have the core. Right?
So, well, and that's always interesting with every sports season is the conclusion of the offseason storyline of, you know, okay, Dynasty losing their players to Impact, how is that going to do for them? Houston Heat losing majority of their guys. What's going to happen to them with the new Blast Camp pickups? You know, you got Damage bringing on Chris Shear now, only bolstering to their kind of pretty good looking roster last year. Aftershock, they added another attacker for Ryan Hosky, so him and Connor Kelly are back together again. Ironman picked up PK Jr. and Jerry Caro in the offseason. How is that going to bolster their team? Like, and
Jerry
that's not
Caro's
even
good.
all the fucking storylines. There's just so many that happened over this offseason. So I do agree with you, Hatch. That's always my favorite thing of coming into the first event of the year and seeing, you know, what is actually going to happen with these rosters and seeing a little more of like, okay, these teams might improve. These teams are probably looking in a bad spot for the year, and these teams are probably going to be our, you know, our stars going into the rest of the season.
Yeah, and it definitely can make us look, you know, obviously we're critics of the game. You know what I'm saying? You know, we're gonna be doing a tier list later. We're being critics about it. I'm genuinely excited to see how these roster changes affect the team, right? Because we're gonna be rating them, and I'm very excited to see how after the event, looking back on it, what our personal ratings is.
Well, and I will say this, because you're giving away stuff too early now.
Sorry.
We will be doing a tier list later. It's not on this event, it's on the whole year. So we're doing the total year. So
Yep. Awesome.
maybe Impact comes in and, you know, just for the sake of argument, maybe they don't mesh well this first event and they have a bad event. You know, we're still talking about the full overarching season, so that'll be what we're basing our, you know, our kind of opinions off of. So yeah, don't come for us too hard based off fucking Tampa. But yeah, if by Chicago it's still not looking great, okay, yeah, that's cool. You can start coming for us. I give you, you know,
100%, 100%. So I mean,
I always. And this is why, you know, speaking of the gambling stuff, because I am going to be giving some picks later for that too. You know, this is why last year we tracked all the numbers. I have record of every pick that I made on the show last year, and it was a very high percentage. I'm trying to pull it up right now because I had the one for this year up. Yeah, last year it was 82%. So 82% of the picks that I made on the
That is
podcast were
super
correct. The actual number is 175 out of 212 games picked. So
it's a really good
yeah.
record. If you were to put
This
that
is
in
why
any
we
other
keep
sport,
track
you
of
would
records.
be godly if that record was in any other sport.
Well, true. That's record is unheard of in other sports, and I'm gonna be honest. If it's lower this year, that's fucking normal because that's absurdly high. Like that's a little bit of luck too. Even
100%.
picking and having some good ideas for
Can
it.
you imagine batting 800? Or just any player batting 800?
Exactly, man.
Holy
the best
shit.
fucking batters in the league have a 40%, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, he's amazing." So yeah, it's that was a high one for last year. So I will be giving those out, and as always, we give them out live on the show. That way, if you look back, you can see it. You know, there's proof and record of it. I keep track of it myself. So yeah, we can give out those numbers. So yeah, all of that'll be happening a little bit later on in the show. I do want to wrap up with you guys practice weekend. Was there anything else that kind of took place? Anything?
Weather
Because
was
I know
crazy Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday's weather was. Yeah, it
Was
was.
it raining on you guys?
Saturday. Yeah, Saturday was beautiful. And Saturday
Great
was really
day.
nice, sunny, hardly any clouds, warm, kind of warm actually. Then Sunday came around and it was mostly cloudy, a little breezy, and fucking
Kind of miserable, if I'm being honest. It
Yeah.
was definitely wet.
Easy
Like,
breezy,
after you
beautiful.
dive in, you're wet, and bro, that wind chill hitting you, I'm like, woo, boys. Like,
Damn,
hey,
no cover girl.
I even said, I go, hey boys, let's huddle up like penguins. Brando's the baby, right? And we all huddle up like penguins surrounding Brando, and I'm like, all right, I love you guys.
Brandon, why did you take that, bro? Why did you be the center of the fucking gangbang?
I was cold. I was
Hey.
fucking cold.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, for survival,
You're also the
he
shortest too,
gets it.
so yeah.
Exactly.
He gets it, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're all huddling around Polyclava, so it's basically like a fucking bunch of boulders around a lighthouse. You know what I'm saying?
Jesus. Okay. Well, yeah, sounds good, boys. I would say last thing too about kind of the weekend. You guys, travel plans for this week. Hatch, you're literally leaving tonight. What's happening with that?
Yeah. So literally, the second we finish this podcast, I am going to be all right. I'm gonna be lore accurate. I'm gonna be going directly to the gas station, picking up Pepsi freezes for Brando. Then I'm gonna be driving up to Brando's house. Then we leave tomorrow morning for Tampa. So it's gonna be it is a crazy feel. All of my coworkers are like, dude, what the hell's going on, bro? You just got back from Texas. Now you're going to Florida again. It's like, I don't know.
Famous. I'm sorry. I can't help
No,
it.
dude, no, dude.
You gotta hit 'em with.
I
Come on, bro.
cannot
Live it up a
stand
little
when
bit.
people say that, bro. I cannot stand when people
live
say
it
that.
up.
Oh my
Do
god,
it. Fuck it. Yeah, I'm a
Fuck.
famous fucking paintball player.
No.
I travel the country. I get paid. No big deal.
No.
Yes.
Hey,
Start
all I'm
lying.
saying,
Start lying.
all I'm-
Bring out
all
your
I'm
fucking
saying is-
World Cup ring, dude. They don't
Hey.
need to know it's D3.
valid. That is very, very valid.
There you
That's
go,
valid.
man.
It doesn't. My World Cup ring does not say D3 on it. But
Exactly.
one thing
So there you go.
Like, I have to at least say that if people ask me, like, oh, like, is it for pro? I'd be like, well,
That's fair enough. Like, it's on
If
them.
they ask-
If they ask, you have to be honest, but you don't have to tell them.
Nah, just tell him it's pro elite.
no, to a rant.
It's
My
not
guy.
even Pro Elite. It's actually former amateur A.
Oh my god, no! Throw it back to that meme. What? Oh hell no! That one made me chuckle every time I think of that one. But yeah,
You made
that-
it. I hope it made you laugh.
Definitely. That one was honestly a successful meme. I felt proud of that one. I was like, man, people are really reacting to that one pretty well. But yeah.
Good for you, buddy.
It-
But yeah,
it
so
feels-
well, I
Go
was
ahead.
just gonna say you're driving up tonight. What time are you guys leaving tomorrow? Is it early?
Our flight leaves at 9:45. It's kind of a.
I think that's when
later
it
in
takes
the morning.
off. That's when
Yeah.
it takes off. You know, leaving.
That's
wheels
usually what
off the ground.
flight leaves means, Hatch. So
just
I
wanna make sure.
understood that. I do. So unlike you, I went to high school at an actual city where we had a good education system, and I understand English. But I appreciate it. Thank you, buddy. So
man.
flight takes off at 9:45. That usually means it's boarding around 9:15 because it's usually about 30 minutes before. I fly a lot myself. So you guys want to get there at what, like 3 a.m. Knowing you guys?
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Nah.
No.
I know Papa Cedar likes his 4 hours before the fucking flight times.
Well,
This time, Papa Cedar's not driving.
He's specific.
okay, there we go.
He's very specific, especially when it comes to the Florida airport in the morning. Because goddamn, obviously you see all those people leaving
I will
Disneyland
say
with their
this:
Mickey Mouse ears.
he always has to drop off a rental car, and I don't think he is clear, so that makes sense because
No, he
that's
does
the
have
reason,
clear.
That's the reason I have clear is literally to get home from World Cup that Monday morning because usually it's a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, it is.
It's literally
And
worth it just for that one event. I use it other times, but still, all right.
Anybody who's ever flown from Cup understands that struggle where it's like, bro, you walk in the morning, you walk into the Florida airport in the morning, and it is circles of lines. Literally like a typhoon of people.
Yeah. Your first time, you think, oh, am I gonna make it?
Yeah, literally. I remember
Yeah,
being
you'll be fine.
being a kid going to World Cup for the first time. Like my mom's right there, and she's like, "Holy fucking shit!" And I'm like, "What's going on,
But
Mom?"
I'll say this: it's like Chick-fil-A. Yeah, the line's out the parking lot. It's still gonna be 10 minutes. Like it's gonna be the same amount as fucking Wendy's or McDonald's or any of those. They're just more efficient with it, bro.
That's valid.
See?
I mean,
yeah.
For some reason, the TSA agents always fuck with me, so it always takes me a little bit longer.
Hatch,
You.
I would fuck with you too. I'm gonna be fully honest. The dude who makes loud noises whenever he wants and looks like you, I'm gonna be like, yeah, there's probably something in his
Oh.
bag. Let's try to get him on.
Hey, no, I'm pretty quiet at the airport until we get through TSA.
Okay, wow, so you do know one place. You know one place in your life, not in baggage claim apparently, because I learned that fucking when you came out of here. This man's in baggage claim having a full-on conversation like this with me and Tanner, and I'm like, Hatch, there's 50 people around us who are hearing everything you're saying right now, but okay, man.
And I'm like, oh, dude, hanging out with you guys is the bomb, dude. And then they were just like, what?
Yeah, don't be saying that. Don't be doing that. That's not cool for me or Tanner, all right? You take the joke too far.
It was like, whoa, what the hell?
Whoa, chill out, bro.
We're in the airport.
Yeah, that's how you get 2-ton attacked, dude.
Dude, that was a little surprise for Sunday for you guys. For all of us. But I knew Saturday. Micah showed up. You know, because he's dealing with school and everything. So yeah,
Micah, you'll come. Micah, you'll come.
Micah, we miss you. Micah, you'll come.
I miss Micah so much, but dude, it truly was great seeing him because he never lost a step. He's that good of a paintball player, honestly. And it was nice having him fill in because I think we had a total of like the perfect amount, like 11 for Sunday, including Micah.
I will say this. Our podcast audience definitely doesn't know the story. What happened to Micah? Because he used to be playing with you guys last year. He's now taking a step back in the offseason. What is that? It's career-wise, right?
Yeah.
For sure, career-wise.
He went to school, actually, for what I'm doing.
Damn.
He joined up a
Okay,
program.
so he's following in Brando's tiny footsteps.
My little footsteps. You're going to make him bigger.
Little short footsteps.
Yeah.
Well, that's cute. Okay, love that.
Yeah, so
how cool is that where you're kind of like rubbing off a little bit on your teammates around you? That's one thing that I realized. I was like, man, that's so cool, dude.
Yeah,
Did you guys
like
talk about shit together?
Yeah. Every now and then.
Brando was telling me how there's like, sorry, I was overhearing their nerd talk about, you know, the OR, and they're like, oh, well, does your doctor like make you set it up like in a certain way with spaces? I think that's what you said, right, Brando?
I
We're
forget
talking about the way they set it up.
Like some sponges, yeah. They emphasize for him to spread them out. Like, fuck that shit. Like, we just fucking lay him down, count him. You're fine.
Yeah, you're essentially he's getting the like, you know, fucking officer in officer training school. It's like everything's by the book, and then the fucking, you know, NCO
Brando's
who's
the
been
vet.
out for like the whole time. Who's like, yeah, throw the whole fucking book away. Here's what's actually gonna happen, kid.
Yeah, that's legit. Like I've told him several times where I'm going through school and my instructors are like, all right, just how you said, this is how you learn. This is what the book says. Learn this for the test. After that, forget about it because this is how it's done. So, okay,
Makes sense.
Good to know.
Yeah.
It's probably a level of experience, you know. You've been doing it for so long, you realize that, you know, it's like, I forgot what this analogy was when I was
Brandon's
younger,
a surgical god. He's on the level of Doctor Strange, man.
Absolutely.
Oh, not. Hey, keep your hands
now.
safe, bro. I need those hands, bro. Please, Lord God.
This is actually why he doesn't come to many events. He's just too important to his fucking hospital. Like
I
he's
do
saving
know
people
that's
daily.
why Brando wears gloves. I do know that's why Brando's wear gloves.
That is why I wear gloves. Yeah, to keep my hands pretty. Yeah, I can't get these cut up.
Just so when you're putting them in someone, even though you got 4 layers of gloves on, there's nothing on there.
Yeah, it's not for my safety. It's for your safety, honestly.
Hey, shout out to Brando. What a great
Bend over and
surgical
cough.
tech. Oh,
That one I don't wear gloves for.
Nice.
Okay. All right.
Did not expect that.
Thank you, Dave DeHaan. Appreciate that.
Hey, good shit, Brando. Good shit.
Yeah, so you're going to be going over to Brando's house tonight. Bring a condom, Hatch. That's all I'm going to say. Be safe. Just protect your butthole. You never know. And yeah, so dude, make sure you check out the awesome GAT, the STO that he's got. What other cool things could you potentially steal from Brandon tonight at that house?
Ooh.
There's a couple markers. Michelle's marker that could be up for grabs. I know
No,
that's a
there's this
beautiful
very
piece.
scary statue that they have in there that I could definitely take, and Brando would not miss. That it's at the bottom of the stairs. That
big
statue
one?
is terrifying. Yes, that statue is
Take it,
terrifying,
dude.
bro.
Go for it. What is it of?
You
If I somehow got that, that would be the lick of a lifetime.
That's
bro.
my target. That's my target when I run around the house with my paintball gun.
Oh, nice.
It's like I don't know how big, like a 3-foot statue of the Virgin Mary sitting on the
Brandon, I'm
fireplace.
starting to understand why maybe your in-laws aren't too happy about you staying there, considering you act like a 12-year-old and run around with your setup still. Is that what I'm hearing?
No, not when they're here. No,
Yes,
but
there you go. All right.
not when they're here.
Not
but
when it
I'm
would be
alone.
embarrassing.
Yeah, come on.
But when it's just me and Michelle and I'm trying to show off, you know, how good I am on the run and gun.
Exactly. I need a target, and it's almost life size. So there you go.
Perfect.
Does Michelle ever do the obstacle course with the Mother Mary target?
No.
Wow.
That's disrespectful. Well,
Another one of those. Wait, Brandon, I said Michelle's there. Do you even do it in front of her?
oh yeah. No shame.
Okay.
course.
All right. Now,
100%.
You know what? Hey, that's good. At least your wife loves you enough to be like, look at my retarded husband.
Yeah.
Because the thing is,
Just imagine her fucking brain while you're doing that. She's just like, fuck, it's a good thing he makes a lot of money. Like, you know, at least there's some reason I'm here.
hell yeah, fucking goofy boy.
Yeah, I remember. Oh my god. Yeah, being in an apartment, or even at when I first started playing, living at when I was in my parents' house, I'd work nights or later in the day or whatnot, and I'll be the only one home in the morning, and I move furniture around to make a little obstacle course or whatnot, with a gun.
Yep.
Crawling from bunker to bunker, essentially snapping out. Yeah, dude, it was fun running and gunning.
Your dad comes downstairs. Shut the fuck up, Brandon.
No,
Am I not far off?
Yeah. He's cheering me on.
You got your gun in training mode, so it's doing like the little puff of air. You're like,
Oh,
dude, I didn't know I had an invert mini and turning it on without any air. Turning it on and still shooting it. I didn't know that would blow out your solenoid or whatnot. So,
Brando, genuinely, bro, no bullshit. I did the
Everyone
same
did
shit
that.
when I had an axe.
they're a piece of shit.
bro.
It's the same
Yeah.
axe in the
Oh
video,
my
the same
God.
solenoid. It was a piece of shit.
That is a fucking universal experience that if you owned one of those markers, an invert mini or an axe, that you had to have done.
Because I will say, like, bro, how many times you see people do that with a CS3 nowadays? It's fucking fine. Like, it can take it. You can turn it on, test the solenoid, see if it's working. But, dude, if you did that, like, 4 times with a mini, it'd just shit out on you.
Yeah, it is so crazy the technology of that markers is at now. So I mean,
Well, at the same time, we also had egos. So don't say that. It's more so the mini was just a piece of shit.
valid.
You're getting what you
All
paid
right,
for.
there we go. Fair enough.
But man, dude, I remember working all summer for my Empire axe and blowing that solenoid out. Man, I was pissed. I was pissed.
Like, first day you have it.
Not like first day, but like, dude, I was finger banging that bitch every day. Not even gonna lie.
Yeah, of course you were. Did you guys ever have the app on your phone so you
Oh,
could
yeah!
practice? Yeah,
I do that shit in
100%.
class.
Yeah, dude, at fucking underneath my desk at school, I'd just be fucking tapping away on the thing, be like, dude, that was 18 balls a second. Let's go.
Yep. And it's funny. My mom obviously notices that because every paintball player, like flutters their fingers every once in a while when they're just standing there or something, right? Like have your arms crossed and you're just like, tapping them on your shoulders, kind of thing, right? Whenever my mom sees another person do that, she goes, "Oh my god, you should go talk to them. I think they play paintball." I'm like, "Mom, they're just autistic and fluttering their fingers like I am. Relax."
They're just stimming. Chill out, mom.
Yeah. I'm
They're
like,
not.
Come on, Mom.
I stim the same way, but it's not. It doesn't mean we're the
Right.
same. Okay.
Mine is actually from paintball. Theirs is just natural born talent.
No, yours is autism too. It's okay, but I have it as well, Hatch. So it's.
I have
we
my
just
I have my
stim.
autism channeled through paintball, so that's like I'm lucky for that. Thank God.
Guys, I wish we got like math and finance autism and not fucking paintball and stupid shit. Like, we would be doing so much better in life.
Oh, I agree. I wish if I was autistic about money. Oh my God, I'd be going crazy.
Well, then you'd be Jewish. So, boys, we got a tier list. Let's jump on into that. Let me go ahead and pull it up on my screen here. So, as we talked about earlier, we are obviously going to be doing a tier list tonight. It is going to be of all 20 of the pro teams. We got in there early, made it up. Looks all pretty. So, if you're on
Look how
audio
many
and you want to check it out, you can head over there. I will say this: there's a reason why there are some that are not beautiful logos. And that is because the NXL website is not updated from 2024 yet. Blast Camp is still listed on there as a team. Same with Notorious. Same with all these other teams. ML Kings, all of them. So let's update our website, NXL. The first event is in like 72 hours. That would be great. So
They
yeah,
posted 3 days yesterday.
Had to make do with these. We had some that we had to make up ourselves. But all 20 teams are here. They're all accounted for. They're in no particular order. It's just random. So we're just going to be going through it as they come up on the page. Boys, are you excited to do this tonight?
I'm actually very excited to do this.
I am. I was thinking about this all day. Yeah.
All damn day.
Like it's either gonna go as me being a fucking grade A hater or like just glazing everybody. Because obviously I have friends on every single one of these fucking teams, so it's so hard for me to like pick.
I mean, be fair about it. I will say the thing I
100%.
always said on the pick show last year: if we picked your team to go 0-4, go prove us wrong. Go, if we put you in a lower category and you hear this and that pisses you off, go fucking practice your ass off and show us that we're wrong. Like, that's the best way you can make us look dumb in the end. That's the best revenge you can get. But the worst revenge is talking shit and then going 0-4. Shout out Brooklyn Bears last year. So I'll never forget that. So yeah, boys, let's jump on into this. We got the first team on the list, Houston Heat. Very different Houston Heat. Same name, very different roster going into this year, Hatch.
I think that potentially, right now they are a B team. As of the end of 2024, I would say they are a B team. They make it to Sunday, but they have not gotten past the first match on Sunday. Right? They seem to be having that struggle with getting past that echelon of that Sunday morning match, and obviously Blast Camp, I think they made Sunday once
in Texas.
So that might be a struggle for them, because maybe that Jackson Frey, Cody LaPapa, and Soap don't have that late Sunday pro experience. Obviously they play against they played against Heat for multiple times. Obviously Ronnie and all them going out to Blast Camp Paintball, they grind all the time, so they know what it's like to be pro. I would say my vote. I would say right now they're at a B tier. Me personally.
Yeah, I would. This one's hard for me. I think they could be a B tier team. I would say right now in my head they're like low B tier, top C tier. I think towards the end of the season, I think they are going to be a different team. So for that point, I'll leave them in B tier with your vote, Hatch, because I think they will be, looking better towards the end of the year. I just think they lost a lot of their core, starting 5 guys from last year.
Yes, they did.
Brand new team members are coming in. I know Ronnie's playing with them a lot, and he's probably getting them up to speed, but there will still be a learning curve for them and gelling in the team and, coming down to fill in spots when they're, when some of the veteran guys need them to fill those spots. So
I think the chemistry isn't going to be hard for them, though, because they obviously have played with Ronnie at every weekend. You know what I'm saying? So I think
it's not chemistry. It's not chemistry. That's not really what I'm worried about. It's just the information gap. I mean, let's be real. You know it, Hatch. You played against pro teams. Even when you've played against them for a couple years, you still got more to learn.
100%.
So I think there is just a little bit of a learning curve with this team. So that's why they're in a B tier.
I would have to agree.
Yeah. I
could see them still make Sunday.
Yeah,
I think they could easily make Sunday. They still have Chad George. They still have
they still have a solid, I think, 6 or 7 without the 3 new Blast Camp guys.
Those were the solidest players that were on Blast Camp. Those were the best players on Blast Camp.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But it's still time on the field in the pro division, right? I think Soap's not going to have an issue. I feel like at all, especially at least the role that he can fill. But they lost Tyler Harmon, they lost Connor Kelly, and they lost Fedorov. And
so they lost their snake. I mean, I know Chad George is playing over there a lot too, but really their big snake pieces were Tyler and Connor last year.
Yes, yeah. And to fill those, and I agree that towards the tail end of last year, they're like a solid B tier. But after losing those 3 core guys, I agree with you, Ryan. They're like a C tier team. I agree with them being in B for the rest of this year. At the end of this year, getting those guys up to speed.
And I definitely, like I said, I could see them making a couple Sundays. I don't see them making Sunday every single event like maybe they have in previous seasons. But because I just don't think the roster depth is there as much as it has been.
Yeah. But you see them winning an event.
It would be an upset for me. It would be not I wouldn't predict it right now, to be honest.
I agree.
If they do, fuck yeah, good on them. But I wouldn't necessarily put money on that right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there'd be other rosters over them that I would think would win events.
Yeah, dude, I would be more happy to put a bet on.
Whenever I saw Heat last year making that Sunday match, I would always, just by the record, I was like, all right, well, the other team's gonna win, because he just was not getting past that first match on Sunday.
Yeah, no, they weren't having a good time. Good time with Sundays last year. All right, boys, let's move on. Let's take some time.
That was fucking forever. Holy shit.
Yeah, let's not go that deep into it. Next up, we got Tampa Bay Damage. Pieces they lost and added this year. They obviously Rainey going over to Impact, back to his home over there. Chris Shear being added though, definitely that's a big
CJ
addition
Cancer
onto their D side.
Carter Donaldson.
CJ is also okay. So CJ and Connor also coming over. Carter
Dude,
from the ML Kings.
Carter
CJ
Donaldson,
from
that guy's a
NYX.
fucking dog. That guy is a fucking beast.
Yeah, I think Carter slept on just because he was always kind of behind Connor on the ML Kings, and then
I'd have to agree with that.
I think last year he did kind of get some more respect though in the league when people were like, "Oh shit, he's a good ass player himself."
I want to say he struggled with some injuries too, early on with the ML Kings.
That freaking sucks.
So
Potentially, and I do like that pickup because obviously Keith's gonna still be their snake number one guy, but if Keith gets hurt like we saw at last World Cup, they had no one else to really fill that position, so they need someone on that team who can be kind of a backup or also fill that role in a way that's maybe it's not as good as Keith, but potentially a couple of years playing with him, maybe he's getting to that point.
I think they also lost Lackey to Diesel.
they did. Yep.
So Lackey was, when Keith was hurt, that was their guy.
I'm gonna be honest, that's not a huge weight changer in my opinion in this one. Like I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing for him, but I don't also think like it makes him better either. Like I don't know, it's kind of a neutral trade in my head.
I'd say A tier.
Yeah, no, I'd be down with an A tier.
They seem to make it to the semis like very, very often.
I mean, and again, don't what's the right word? Like, don't look too much at just last year's results and try to base off that. But
I can't
think
say
based
that,
off the roster they have, I feel like they would be a team who probably is making probably every Sunday, but maybe missing one. I think that would
I
be
can't
more
put them
of
anything. I can't put them in B. It just my
No,
opinion. They're way more of an A tier team.
They lost one key player in Rainey, but they added
Chris.
I think more attack. Yeah, they added more than they lost.
For sure.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree. So all right, I'm
I like
with that.
A-tier.
A tier. All right, fit. Now, obviously, I'm fit biased. Everyone knows this if you listen to the pick show last year. I love those boys. We always want them to do well. I will say,
I predicted Cup for sure. I definitely think that.
So this one's hard for me because I don't necessarily want to put them in an S because they didn't really add anything this year. Now, there also is the saying of what's, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And maybe that's what it is for them. It's just hard to kind of maybe give them an S tier when not much has been added. I still think they are definitely an A tier team. I think we're going to see them on Sundays competing a lot more than we did last year even.
100%.
And I think we're going to see them going deep in tournaments. But I also
potentially win more.
I also think it's hard to say, they're going to be a top 1-2 team this year just looking at the rosters coming into the whole season.
Yeah. And, I mean, when Fit played Damage, I think it was Sunday morning. Dude, that was a close-ass game. And Fit won. I remember I was sitting in the stands.
Damage won the first one. That's It really, they were 1-1 to each other at Cup, and Fit just won the one that was more important, it seemed.
Yep. And I remember I was sitting behind Bart and Dave, and they were writing down every fucking breakout that was played on that field. So they were prepared to play. Absolutely, and they were prepared for if they had to play either team, right? Which is awesome. I don't think a lot of teams do that, to be honest.
Good scouting. That's because it's Dave Baines and Bart Yakmak, brother.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The Fit they did add one guy. I don't know, Jacob Seabaugh. I don't know. He played with Leverage last year, so. But that was it. I'm good with him in A.
Fit added that person.
Fit added, yes. Yeah, that was the only.
Okay.
That was the only addition. They didn't lose anyone.
So what that means is he moved to Waxahachie and is now working at the field. Because and that's why Fit doesn't have many people, because that's what it is. Like that's how Cybers got on the team. He moved to Dallas and he doesn't work at the field, but he's there every fucking 4 times a week. That's the commitment level you have to make to be on that team.
Yeah.
And that's why they won World Cup. So
sure.
I'm fine with putting them in A tier. Yeah. I think same thing with Damage. Not below A tier for sure. I wouldn't want to put them in an S tier just because they won one event last year. I don't want to have recency bias. I think they are going to be good going into this year. So it's kind of they definitely should be towards the top, but I don't think they're all the way up there. I
mean, I just think that with the attitude that they have, I don't think they go 0-4.
No, that's a big one going for them. I mean, they're going to be competitive, even if they're not making Sundays. But I do think they're going to make Sundays this year. I think we're going to see Fit. Same thing with Damage. I think we're going to be, that's one of the teams we're going to be seeing competing on Sundays more times than not.
For sure.
All right, here. I'm actually going to put this one back towards the end because we're going to have a lot to talk about that one. So let's go to Aftermath next. Aftermath.
See,
it was a hard off season for these boys. Losing some of the violence guys, losing a couple other of their big players. And the players they were able to replace them with are some other semi-pro guys. I don't know.
Hungry semi-pro. I think that's what one thing we for sure have to say is they are hungry semi-pro.
And I think there's maybe the argument, like we said, with some of the Blast Camp guys of, towards the end of the season, they're going to be looking a lot better than they are at this first Tampa event. I think, though, it's going to be hard for them to make Sundays. I'm thinking a C
team.
That's kind of where I'm at, too, in my head. I don't think they're going to be fighting relegation this year, but I think that at least the first couple events, they're going to have to learn a lot pretty quick.
100%. Very quick.
Yeah, what they
Some of those guys have a lot of time in the pro division.
Yeah, but what they had going for them is...
They have the leaders, too, that could do that. Like, they have Grayson still on the team. They have some of those guys from the squad last year who took them to deep Sunday runs on, they got fourth, I think, at one of the events. But I think the thing is now the pieces around them, they're going to have to get up to speed like they are pretty quick.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah, similar to... where did he play? Similar to the Blast Camp guys, right? Just time on the field.
But just almost a division lower, because at least the Blast Camp guys, they've at least spent a year out there, learning. Exactly. Okay, this is a faster game.
Sure. They bought that pro spot.
One of their guys was from the Lucky 15s that they added. So that's cool to see that he's coming all the way out. But one of the things that was going for him is that they all were down locally down there, right, playing with each other, and now losing 3 or 4 of the guys that they were playing with last year. It looks like,
and most of those guys are still local, so there'll still be a lot of practice going on. But I mean, again, like you said, some of those pieces are now international, so it's like they can't come in every single weekend to come practice.
Unless you're paying buku bucks.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Wayne's paying that much. No. ASG's doing good, not that good.
Yeah, I'm good with C. I was a little hesitant. Do we go D? But I think again, it's the whole year, so I think they will be solid at the end of the year.
That's kind of like I'm thinking D is those are going to be our fighting for relegation teams. Yeah. I think those are going to be our 3 or 4 that are like shit might get rough. And let's go to the next one because I think this is going to be one of them, and it's going to be extreme. I think they might be fighting for relegation 2 years in a row, and the main reason is, okay, you come back, you bring, some of the boys are back. Harris is back on the team. Hell yeah. All right, well, you lost CJ Canner. You lost Patrick Kraft Jr. You lost fucking Jerry Caro. You lost, did Keith Taylor leave as well? Or did he end up staying?
Keith Taylor, he's not on the roster.
He's not on the roster, so you lost him. Like,
sorry, Keith Taylor or Josh Taylor?
Josh Taylor, sorry.
No, he is. He is on the roster,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay, that's big because that's still one of their big pieces from last year that's with them. But, I mean, I just named 4 of their starters right there who's not with the team this year, and they were already not having a good time last year. It's hard for me to imagine
and they lost Thomas Taylor.
That much better. Yeah, that's true. Thomas went down to semi-pro. So, brother, I mean, that's...
Because the thing is, I believe in NYX. I'm 100% biased. I'm 100% biased with this pick, obviously, because one of my greatest friends, Nico Escobedo, is on that team. So, for me personally, I would not put D because I believe in Nico, right? I believe that he can fire that team up enough to where they do not get relegated.
So, fuck yeah, I love Nico too. But in the real world... NYX is not going to have a good easy time this year to gain any
I agree
points.
with that. I do not think that they're going to have an easy time whatsoever.
And I think for that's why they deserve to be in D. I think when we're getting to Cup, they're going to be one of the teams that maybe they're not in the conversation for relegation, but they're going to be down there in 17th, 19th, or 17th, 16th spot. And that's, again, go prove me wrong, Nico. I'd love to see that. But at the same time, man, it's hard to imagine that team getting better again when they lost some of those names that were the guys who were getting success for them.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, I do remember starting in Chicago last year, Nico was definitely showing off that he was like the main snake guy for the ML Kings.
Yeah, no, and he was playing great on the ML Kings. I do have to give him that. But again, that's one part of the puzzle, and
100%.
you're trying to replace
I am
Patrick
reading-
Kraft. You're trying to replace Thomas Taylor. Like,
Yep, I am without a doubt
Ugh.
reading so far into it very biasedly because I am an NYX fan because Nico's on there, so it's so fucking hard for me to vote. Bro.
So I'm
is
also going
George
to say
on the
that
roster?
no,
No? Okay.
no, he's not. I am also going to say because we're talking about NYX, right? That their roster, who they lost. Well, look at who they merged with, right? The ML Kings.
ML Kings.
Look who they lost. They lost Kyle Berry,
Their leader.
Donaldson.
Yeah.
They also don't have Rodriguez. That was getting a lion's share of the points, right?
I wonder where he ended up.
I don't know. Yeah, I just noticed that he wasn't on there. You know, so they lost.
But I think that's a great point. Essentially, it's the two, no offense to these guys, it's the two afterthoughts from two teams that merged together to make NYX now for this year, and Harris. So it's kind of like I don't know, man. I don't want it to happen, but I would say going into this year, I can't put them in any other tier in like looking at it logically on paper.
Hi, on paper, logically, you're completely right, Ryan.
Yeah, I don't think any of us want.
Prove me the fuck wrong, please.
Yes, none of us want them to be
NYX
relegated or
went pro
anything.
at the fucking World Cup I was at, so like I would not like them to get relegated, but it's not looking great.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Another team
Infamous? I'd say
had
B.
a kind of a rough off season. I would say Infamous.
They
Lost
picked up
Joe
Trevor
Barrett.
Reeser.
What's up? What was that one?
Picked up Trevor Reeser.
They did pick up Trevor. Did they also pick up
They picked up
Velez?
Zach Geiger. They picked up Zach Geiger, and they picked up Rob Velez. They picked up Zach
they
Geiger
picked
from
up Velez as
Ironman,
well.
and they picked up Rob Velez from. I think he was playing on. I mean, he's been fucking bouncing
Impact.
fucking Revo
Yeah.
and Impact like the past 2 years.
So pretty good pickups there.
I'd say B. I would say B. They're right where he is right now. I would say that they are that team where it's like they can make Sunday. Are they going to go far? It's too early to tell right now.
So let me get my points out because I think you're not fully wrong there. I would put them at the high spot of B. I think we're going to see them make a lot more Sundays than Heat, though. I would almost maybe put them in the conversation of an A-tier team. The reason being the players that they picked up this offseason are great weapons for them. We know Trevor's a great fucking player up the center. Rob is a very slept-on player in the pro division. There's a reason
100%.
people keep picking him up. It's because he's a great teammate. He's a great asset to have on your team as one of those kind of reserve players. And then, who did they lose? Joe Barrett, that is a big one for him. He played almost every single point for them last year. He was a great three-position player for them. But they also, Brett Messer, okay, he wasn't playing as much because he was dealing with injuries and stuff of that nature. And then Zach's also kind of the one that's up in the air. I don't know if he's going to be on the roster this year. Is he rostered right now, Brando?
Yes, he's rostered right now.
Yeah, so it seems like he's on the team right now, but he might disappear at some point this year for reasons I don't necessarily want to talk about on this podcast, but look into it. So I would say the players that they're losing, yes, Joe and Zach are big, but they also have Tim to fill that spot in the snake. I don't know, man. I would make the conversation there an A tier. I just feel like they gain too many things to kind of be in the same conversation with Heat. I mean, look, they may come out at Tampa and just look like ass, and maybe I'm wrong, but I think they're going to be in most Sundays this year.
I can agree with you on putting them A strictly because they have way more of the core than Heat does. At least that's what it seems like. They have Kevin Calley, right? They have who else they fucking have?
Ryan Hall, Jonah
Ryan
Jambros.
Hall. Yep. Jonah's getting fucking good.
Yes.
Rodarte's playing for them again, right?
Rodarte's back. Andy Copcock, is he really coming?
Yep.
What the fuck?
I think he was last year. He was at Cup for them. I think he suited up. I don't know if he played a point, but he was at least suited up.
Wow, that's great. And Chicago. All right, good to know.
And, I mean, Tim Brusselbeck, I think that guy is an A-tier snake player by himself.
Yeah, no, I would agree.
There's a reason why Impact picked him up.
Yeah, I mean, again, from that DMG roster that went pro, Thomas Kim, Tim Brusselbeck, Shane Howe. I'm trying to think. There's a couple other guys who are still floating around the league. Josh Halberg, he's kind of gone up and down, but like that really was the core of guys who were great on that team. And there's a reason why like Thomas and Tim have kept playing on and getting picked up by teams because they definitely are worth it to put on your roster.
100%.
Yeah, I looking at them. A tier is good. It especially comparing their roster to the Heat roster. Yeah, they really did add firepower, and they also added Nathan. It's hard to say his last name.
From Blast Camp.
From Blast Camp, yeah. So, it'll be good for him. I think Zach Geiger can spell the snake reps that if Zach Patient's gone, that
Did you say spell?
Spell him. Spell him. Right?
What are you trying to say? No.
Use it in a sentence, bro.
I just did, motherfucker.
Can I get a country of origin?
Just sub in for him? Is that what you're trying to say?
Let's say that. That's fine.
What the fuck is spell? No, hold up. We're going to talk about this for a second.
I agree.
What the fuck?
To spell, God damn, dude. Am I really going to have to search this shit up?
Is that to
See how it
alleviate
feels
the pressure?
when you say a word that you think is real and then everyone attacks you for it? It's not fun.
No. Hold on. To spell someone. All right. An unknown. No.
An unknown phrase.
I hate when Google's wrong.
To spell someone is an informal idiom that means to take over for someone for a period of time or to relieve them.
God, your fucking grandfather used to say that one?
Yeah.
No. Oh, there's like a football. You watch football? No?
Yes, I do.
Goddamn.
I've never heard anyone say,
really?
Coming in to spill for him at left linebacker.
Wow.
I spell you.
Damn. Look at me. All right.
All right, well, we're going to spell to our next team, AC Diesel.
Hey, S tier because they're water boy. Shout out to Matt the Gym Rat.
All right, well, memes aside, this is
Memes aside, A. Memes aside, A.
Memes aside, I'm going to say this, though. This is going to be the hardest team for me to pick all fucking year because you never know which version you're going to get. It
100%.
may be the fucking world stompers that we started to see at Cup, or it may be the fucking can't win a fucking single event, which we saw, or single game, which we saw multiple times last year. So,
or it could be the emotional side where they choke a game where they could have won against Fit.
I'm going to say, Hatch, I'm going to make the argument B. And the main reason is because I think they will be in less Sundays than these teams up here. But I will also say, and you can mark this down right now, this is probably the team I'm going to be wrong about. They will either be better than what I predicted or they will be way worse. They will not be what I predicted them to be. So I'm going to put them in B just because I think that's where they're going to kind of line up at the end of the year. But you guys could vote on something else potentially. Yeah.
I would have to, me personally, I would just have to say A just because, dude, as long as they do not get in their fucking emotions and Mark Johnson steers the ship the right way to where these players don't get so fucking hot-headed, they can easily win a tournament. But it's also, I mean,
not
fuck,
easily.
I don't know
not easily.
I don't know the chemistry behind that team, so
that's the
I
enigma.
don't know exactly what's going on. Exactly, it's such an
like,
enigma.
did everyone sleep the night before? Is everyone in a good mood to work together? Like, dude, that's such a hard, like, it's hard to predict what that team is gonna do.
100%. And I mean, I would put A, but I see exactly what you're coming from when you put B.
Okay. I mean, we'll let Brando tie break it because you're on B.
I like your point, Brando or Ryan, because you really do not know what team you're gonna get.
And so that's the thing. I think Hatch at times they could be a fucking S tier team. I think they really could win an event this year, but it's like, will they? You know,
that's what we said last offseason.
I want to put my money on it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think we also said last offseason this was the last year we would give them credit if they didn't do it.
They assembled the super team,
so
and then
I don't know if I could give them credit anymore. Fuck it.
Yeah, until they do it.
There's no way you're paying Mouse that much money, and there's no way you're paying Mouse that much money to be a fucking C tier. There's no way.
Yeah. But they could. It's Diesel.
Valid. They definitely could.
Because they've been.
So hard. Yeah.
Keep them in B. Keep them right in the middle of the pack.
Secretly, there could be a part of me secretly that's complaining this much right now, hoping someone's going to clip it and send it to Mouse so he fucking gets pissed off and plays his ass off through that the whole year. But that's what it would take. Like, I don't know, man. That team is just so hard to predict, so hard to put a fucking finger on them what they're going to do. I'm gonna go B tier for that reason. Hatch went A tier. Brando, what's your pick?
Keep him in B.
Keep him in B. Okay.
Yeah, let them until they show.
We'll
I
keep them
guess
high B. We'll keep them high B, so they'll be towards the top.
a B
but
plus.
I definitely think they'll play better than Heat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Way less roster
can
boost.
see
Where
that.
obviously the chemistry of the team is going to be way better in my opinion.
So are we thinking this then?
No.
No. All right.
No.
Well, fair enough. Let's go to the next one. Brando, you bring this one in.
Ooh, we got the New Orleans Hurricanes coming in. This is big. They lost. Was it 2 of their core players? I don't remember who exactly, but
Did they retire?
yeah, essentially. I think one had something with work or family or whatever. They was both family reasons.
Real life shit.
Yeah, and
They lost
and
their
then
coach.
Their coach was the big one.
That's the biggest
key
one to
to
me.
the fucking
Mike
lock.
Bianca
Without a
is
doubt.
the biggest one to me.
Yes, me too. So they
If
added.
Dynasty takes your coach, it's because he's good at what he fucking does.
100%. And dude, let me tell you that I remember that whole after they lost in the finals to Dynasty, and Mike Bianca's like, "Hey, there's another blue team." Dude, that shit gave me goosebumps because I
was
was
a
like,
damn good
"Damn,
speech.
that shit was
It's a good speech.
that shit was
Yeah.
hard as fuck."
That was an S tier speech. I'll give him that.
And then he went to the other blue team. What the fuck?
Why
Well,
not?
'cause did you see
I know,
how
I
he
know.
talked to them the rest of the
Yeah.
year? He wanted to. The second that
Yeah.
was over, he wanted to go to that team.
So with all this being said, they added 3
But they had a second place
other
finish.
divisional guys. They did last year.
But one Sunday? They
One
only made one
Sunday.
Sunday.
They
That's
made
the thing.
one Sunday to the finals on the most unorthodox field possible.
So with this
And
all
they
being
choked a fucking lead. So I don't know, man.
For
hey,
sure.
experience, it shows.
It is Dynasty, so it's like
Yeah.
I
How
almost
did they
can't
do-
I can't take
does-
that from them.
Does anybody have how they finished at Cup?
Yes.
How did they
Brando, you're
finish at
PBLI
Cup?
guy right now.
Yep. Stretch. They finished 20th out of 24.
Yeah.
So-
The only teams below him were the EU and Latin team. So
And wax, yeah. So, with this all being said, I would drop them down to D. I think they're going to be fighting for relegation this year. Unfortunately, I like
I
that
can't
team.
argue with that if I'm being honest. That logic, I just can't argue with it. And I don't think that.
I'm sitting here trying to think of an argument, and I can't either, because
Right.
I really think, dude, you will soon realize how big losing Mike Bianca was. I think they will see it this weekend, and then. Okay,
Dude, is
great.
the-
You
is the
figure
leader
out
of
it's going to be
Hurricanes-
hard this weekend, but then you still have the rest of the year that you have to figure out as well.
Yeah.
And people don't realize how important the coach is. It's not just that event. It's how practices go. It's how the structure of the team goes. It's the fucking managerial side of things. Like, coaches do so much in the sport.
It's a big hat that, dude.
I think they will be fighting for relegation, unfortunately.
It's such a big hat to where if you genuinely have to juggle the player hat and the coach hat, like, dude, to where I genuinely hope that Danny Camp, I hope he does not have to do that, because he is such a good player. If he just focuses on playing, he's a straight killer.
I'm surprised he wasn't picked up by anyone. But
I honestly thought, I don't know if you guys remember, I was like, I thought he was going to be picked up by Dynasty.
You did
Mike
say
Bianca
that.
was going over there. I was like, dude, it would make sense.
Well, yeah, and then they did pick up. I think I think they picked up Kyle kind of instead of Daniel Camp, if that makes sense.
I'd probably have to agree.
Okay.
Because they kind of play the same role, and it's it just.
They're like, who's on Team USA that we can pick up,
I mean, yeah, and I think they were trying to get PK Jr., but then I think when Marcelo
Interesting.
left, they didn't want him. Didn't want him anymore, but I think it was more Marcelo wanted to play with him because of like some of the Team USA stuff and shit like
Interesting.
that.
Okay.
I don't know. It's off season. There's a lot of things that come up. There's a lot of emails that get sent that never get answered, and yeah, it's exciting. All right, boys. Next one up. Hatch, you bring this one in.
All right.
It's your favorite team.
It is not my favorite team, but I will say it
That's
is
your favorite team.
It is by far, obviously on paper, the most winning team in paintball with San Diego Dynasty coming in. I would have to put them at A, maybe the middle of A, because it's too hard to predict with their pickups, right? Obviously losing Marcelo, that's a big hit to them, right? So who's gonna fill exactly with that role, Joe Barrett, that guy is a fucking beast. I've known Joe Barrett for a very, very long time, and he is a great paintball player. and I think that he can fill that role. Is it going to be as quick, and is he going to be as good at it as Marcelo? I don't know.
I think
but it is dynasty.
True. It is dynasty. I think Joe can fill that spot. The problem is it's going to be, let's say Joe is having a different opinion on how he wants to play a layout. Are they going to respect him the same amount they would when Marcelo had that same opinion? Because I've been at dynasty practices. It's seniority based, when Ryan and Alex have an idea of how they want to play the field, their voice is going to be the loudest. They will take Arturo's into account and Blake's into account, and they will take other guys into the team, into account. But it does kind of start from those leaders on down. So I just wonder, is his voice going to be able to resonate with some of those guys quick enough? So it's not like the first two events go by and all of a sudden they're like, shit, okay, that's bad on us. Mike's saying we got to listen to these guys more. So they just need to figure stuff out. It is the same core guys. Harrison's still there. Fucking Arturo's still there. Blake's still there. Yosh's still there. Ryan's still there. Alex is still there. But now bringing in, a couple young guys like they do every year.
I'm glad you said that, Ryan, because obviously, this might come. I think this might vibes is a big thing. So the Avocado Bros with Harrison Fry and Joe Baird on the team, that genuinely could give a plus 5% stat boost for Avocados. No bullshit.
They do 5 together. Yep. I mean, they've played together for years in other countries.
100%.
Yeah.
If you put Joe behind Harrison,
that is a deadly duo.
That is a nasty fucking duo, for sure. Right. So I think.
But I do have to say, will they be allowed to stretch their legs as much as they would on potentially a different team?
That's valid because you never know. It might be like, hey, the four core, and then Arturo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That genuinely could be how
where
every
they just
point is
don't
made.
get as many reps because let's say maybe Ryan or Yosh are just killing that spot, and what are you gonna do? You're gonna take Yosh out of that spot? No. Fuck you. I'm gonna leave Yosh out there. He's one of the best threes to ever play the game.
You would have to straight stunt to get Yosh off that field.
Exactly. And sometimes Blake can fill that role, and same with Ryan. Sometimes, he's just not playing a spot as well as other guys, but it's not fucking often. It doesn't, and that's kind of the problem with that team is it's like, yeah, okay, the 50-year-old, the 45-year-old guys are still leading the charge and starting. It's because they're still the fucking best guys on the team. You can't take them off the field just yet. So I'm gonna have to put them in A tier for that. I would say lower end of each A tier though, just kind of coming in because yes, they've won a lot of tournaments in the past, but it's not that same exact group of guys who
would you put them over
out
Damage?
there and done it.
I
don't know if I would. No,
I wouldn't.
I don't know if I would. I would put him over Infamous, but I wouldn't put him over Damage.
And obviously, just by record of this past year, I have to put them below Fit because dude, Fit had their fucking number every fucking time this past season.
Fit was the
Good
Dragon
point.
Slayers last year. So yeah, all right, I'm going A tier for them. That's all my reasoning.
Yeah,
I'd have to
You
agree.
guys got anything
They got
else,
the
Brandon?
Nope. They got the history of it. Keeping it A.
Yeah,
Yep, for
definitely
sure.
not a B tier. I would definitely
this
also
is a
say not
good-
S tier.
This is probably at least the most comfortable that I've felt with a tier list where I'm like my reasoning. You know what I'm saying?
That's good.
So
You're starting to learn how to be an analyst. That's good, Hatch.
For sure. Sorry.
This is what I've been doing the last 3 years. I'm glad you're finally joining the team.
Yep.
So all right, up next we got Baltimore Arsenal. A rebranding of Baltimore Revel if you haven't heard that yet. So it is the same team, Baltimore Revo, but just different name. Couple new pickups. They did bring back was it O'Mara who went back from
Yep,
Ironman?
they brought back O'Mara, not Henry
so
Sense.
O'Mara's
Henry
back with
Sense
his
still on the
boys.
Ironman.
Since stayed over on the Ironman, and then they also picked up ABJ in the offseason as well too. So a couple pretty big pieces there.
They have such a strong snake side with Kyle Bowen and Archie. Bro, that is going to be a nasty fucking duo.
I think the biggest thing with Revo, Arsenal, but it's always been the thing with Revo, it's the experience side. They've always had the talent, but I think the reason they've never been able to put it together and go to that final game and win that final game, although they've made some deep runs in the Sunday, in Sundays, I think it's just that experience. For that, I would say
I think Omari is the voice for them.
Yeah, and having him back is a big piece. He's their spark plug. He's a lot of their
100%.
energy. I would say either low A tier or high B tier.
I'd high B tier.
Yeah, because
I put him above Heat, below Diesel.
I don't necessarily. Yeah. Diesel's the wild card for me. I'm not really taking them into account. They're just going to be here the whole time, but this is the actual true B tier after them. So, yeah, I would say they're above Heat. I don't know, man. This one's so hard for me because I can see them making Sundays this year, but I don't know if I see them winning an event this year.
No, if so, it'd have to be like the fourth, maybe World Cup, deep in the year. I want to put them in A tier. I like the roster. I think they're gonna be. I want this to be a really aggressive team.
I think that will be for sure.
But also, I mean, if we're talking about aggressive team, if you're playing one style of paintball, if you get a slow layout, then you just get fucked.
Yep.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're
we've
getting shit
seen
on.
that with teams. I think last year's Ironman was very layout dependent. Depending on what the layout looked like, they were either a great team making Sunday or they were the worst team on the tournament.
For sure.
Yeah. Shit.
That's a good-
Okay.
that's a good segue.
So that Matt's gonna have to.
Not
okay,
quite
B
yet,
tier.
Hatch.
Fuck. B tier,
Yeah,
but I
think
want
for
him. I want
that
to see him in
B-tier,
A.
I think when they're going to be good,
feel like
they're
right
going to
where
be
they are now.
good. But I don't think it's going to be as consistent as some of our other A tier teams.
Okay. Yep. I can't argue that.
Okay, fair enough. All right, well, Hatch, why don't you bring in the next one? Since you were so happy about the segue.
For sure. So now we got the Shield, the Iron Goobers, right? So we're bringing them up in here. I think that me personally, I would have to put below Aftermath or above Hurricanes in D. I think
Dude,
they
I should have made.
I think they could potentially be.
made an extra tier. God damn it!
I mean, we still could.
Should have made it. It's gonna be way too much to do it right now, but yeah, should have made this the Kid Toucher tier. But so past that though, I think Ironman's actually gonna look pretty good this year. I think they've retained some of their guys. They've picked up great players, PK Jr. as we were saying earlier, as well as Jerry Caro, only bolstering to their young snake side with Brody. Yeah, I think this is another B team because I just think when I don't think we're going to see the consistent greatness that we're going to see in some of these A tier teams, but I also wouldn't put them down in a C tier or a D tier. I think they've got the players to be competing on to Sundays multiple times this year.
100%. I mean, with Thomas Guest, they have Kyle and Nicolau. Like, those guys are a really good fucking duo. And what's that guy's name? Mitch Finley? I think that's his name. That guy is also pretty good.
He's not on the roster.
Ooh.
So they got
I mean,
Garrett
they all-
Baldwin though. They had
great
him as
player.
well.
He was from the Sea Dogs.
It's a huge loss for him.
I agree, 100%. Yeah, so, okay. So the Sea Dogs lost Baldwin. That's a big pickup
Yep.
for the Ironmen.
Yep. And that's we'll talk about that more with Sea Dogs because I was going to bring that up with them. But
I'd say Arsenal beats Ironman. If we're putting it there, I'd say Arsenal beats Ironman.
Yeah.
yeah, no, I don't disagree there.
And
Okay.
our fuck yeah.
What do you
yeah,
think,
B
Brando?
tier. Nah, just thinking if would they be better than Heat? I think so. I don't know. No, I don't think so. I'd still probably take Heat over Ironman. But I would take
I would take last
Ironman
year's
over
Heat.
Aftermath.
I think I would take last year's Heat over Ironman. I think for this year, I would still take Ironman over Heat, though.
With the current roster that's right now locked in that we're seeing on PBLI right now, I would probably say the Ironman is better than Heat right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And again, that's the other thing, too. Roster changes, we can't predict that, so that's kind of the whole thing of this, too, is like, fuck, we could be wrong because fucking Diesel gets rid of half their players and rebuilds
This could
the whole
be.
team around
Dude,
Mouse.
imagine it's a Hurricanes NYX finals and we are just the fucking absolute
shit.
worst.
Hatch, I'm going to eat a bullet if that happens. All right, well, next up on the league, we got one of the newcomers. We got the boys
Leverage.
over at Leverage.
It's
Oh,
hard
this one
because
hurts, breaks my heart.
I think they'll be.
It's
I think they'll be better than
here for me.
Aftermath. I think they'll be better than Aftermath.
But other than favoritism, where's the proof for that? Because you're bringing in, yes, a good group of semi-pro players, and I think guys that may not be fighting for relegation right away, but
Ready? Reason why?
they've got
is
a
'cause
lot to learn.
It's proven that every time a new pro team enters the pro division, they do well the first event because nobody has scouted them. Nobody really knows them very
Okay,
well.
this is the whole year, Hatch.
Putting them above Aftermath. Me personally,
I can't do that.
No.
I can't, just because you're coming. Look, Leverage, they're great players. A couple of those guys do have some pro experience. The Chris Caputos on those teams, but the biggest problem is that whole roster needs to learn how to play pro paintball. And I know you guys have practiced against pro teams. It is a huge fucking learning experience. And now imagine doing it during an actual tournament when everything's on the line. It is an even bigger learning experience.
I believe in the boys over at Leverage to be better than Aftermath.
You know, they've been playing together for a long time, right? That core.
Yep.
And Caputo did.
Blast Camp did as well.
Getting there.
They bought their pro spot though.
Okay.
Yeah, deservedly, I think they deserve that. But Chris Caputo's the only one, I think, with pro experience. Mm-hmm. And it's one guy for 1 year. Aftermath still has like 6 or 7 guys. Christopher Fermosale, I don't know. Shit, I don't know.
Okay.
That's a lot. That's a hard last name.
I hate to say it. That's another guy who I don't know what his pro experience is. I don't know how much knowledge he'll be able to bring to those guys to get them up to the pro level right away. I also think this. Leverage, like Aftermath, they're one of these teams that they practice a lot together. They're going to be a better team by the end of the year. I can guarantee you that.
100%.
The
I don't think they're going to be
conversation around them
relegated.
is going to be different at Cup, but I don't think we're going to see them on Sunday very often.
I see what you're saying. I don't think they're going to get relegated. I think that they're better than the relegated teams. Or better than the bottom two.
I think that's why they're at least in C tier, but I think they're going to be towards the bottom of C tier.
Man, I don't. It's tough. I kind of want to put them in D tier. I think they're just going to be one of the bottom teams. You know,
Fair.
call it like the bottom 4 teams.
Splitting the difference, we'll leave them at the bottom of C tier because Hatch wants them top, you want them in D, and I want them at the bottom. So
I
that
don't want
kind
them top. I want
the
them
middle of it.
I want them
at the top of C tier.
Okay, gotcha.
That's what you said.
Yep.
So we'll leave them there for now.
Okay.
Again, I don't think they'll be relegated, but I think you just got so much to fucking learn, and that's rough.
Prove us wrong.
Next up, I think this might be one of our first S tier teams of the season.
100%.
Russian Legion
won 2 events last year.
Won 2 events, looked great at others, didn't change anything. I think, the let's be real, the joke in paintball used to be, oh shit, if you see Russian Legion's second line come on, it's not going to be a good day for you. But let's be real, that second line's getting damn good in themselves.
Oh, dude,
they won
McDarby?
some points at Cup by themselves. Yeah.
Shout out to McDarby, bro, with the surfer flow. I respect the shit out of that. And, I mean, his whole story and lore on how he got Russian Legion is a fantastic story. Genuinely. And I think the Russian
respect to
Legions
him.
are
He's becoming a pretty good snake player to give Malloy some breaks and and points when he needs them. So yeah, I think this is the first S tier team. I genuinely believe going into the season we're going to see them on every single Sunday. Where they end up on those Sundays, I don't know, but I think we are going to see them at least. They're going to be there. It's going to be
100%.
Who do they beat or who do they lose to kind of go on into the tournament.
And let me tell you, I was so confident that PB Fit was going to win Cup, but I was like, the only possibility they could lose is if they run into the Russians in the semifinals, which they did, and they won. So it's like...
You have little faith. But yeah, so S tier, I think this is a quick conversation on this one. There's not much more we need to go into. They had a kind of a quiet offseason. They did try to pick up Mike, but he went back to Impact, and there was that whole situation that came around for a little bit. So... That's
a wild, crazy offseason story in itself.
Yeah, but that's more a post-show topic. We can't talk about that on the main because that's not been in public yet. So let's keep moving on. Energy Elite, they're going to be the next up on our tier list. I think this is going to be another one of our D teams.
I would say, what's the roster looking like right now, Brando? Actually,
let's see, Adams. It doesn't look like they've. Honestly, they just merged with like LVL and the old Bears roster.
Oh, they did just pick up Justin Politi, I think.
Politi, yeah. There was a couple of them.
He was a good leverage. He was a good LVL player for sure.
Yeah, so it's a whole roster full of experienced pros. For a couple years.
I think we can bring them up there then.
I would say maybe put them above Leverage just because of the pro experience.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I see what you're saying. And actually, I think
Aftermath. I would feel comfortable putting them above Aftermath.
Yeah. I think because of experience, the biggest thing for them is it's going to be chemistry. It's going to be coming together this year. It's guys who all have been playing on the, pro division, but for different teams, for different coaches, for different, organizations.
Let me just say, shout out to NRG Elite.
The Bears last year didn't have all that great of a time, and that's what a lot of this core of this roster came from. Yeah.
I think
the C team for sure.
NRG Elite doesn't have to change their van anymore.
No.
They can keep it. They can keep the van. You know what I'm saying? They're like, all right, if we stick it out, we'll have the name back and stick it out for 4 years, boys. And sure as shit, now they're back. I know. I love staying. Because dude, somehow it ends up we stay at the same hotel as the NRG boys, right?
Awesome.
Where they're
got the same rewards program.
100%, and they always have the van in the parking lot, and we're always shooting the shit with them in the parking lot. So hey, I'm glad they got the name back for the van.
So I'm hearing biased from Hatch. Great, we love that. No, I do agree though. I don't think they'll be fighting for relegation, but I don't think we'll be seeing them on Sunday very often, to be honest.
Maybe once.
Yeah, once or twice.
Yeah,
they're not going to
I
be
think for
consistent.
that argument,
Sunday
that's
team.
why they would be in a C tier team based off these.
I agree.
All right, Brando, you want to bring in the next one?
Yeah, this one we got Seattle Uprising. Our Northwest boys, and I like that they were showing really good just how much better they got with the additions of Mark and Nate coming back. Lit a fire under them, and I really hope that they could roll into this year with that. I want to
be above Heat. Be above Heat.
For the remainder of the year,
that would be my vote.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah, I would put them above Arsenal.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. I agree. I was like, now that I'm looking at it, I think they definitely have better team chemistry than Arsenal and Ironman. Like,
yeah,
those are
team
the
chemistry.
boys.
Plus, think about this for half a second. Look at that roster after they acquired Nate for the Chicago and World Cup event versus beginning of that year.
Yes.
I think Uprising's always been one or two pieces away from being a good team. That's why they've never been relegated. They've always been an okay team. But now that they have a absolute vicious, aggressive attacker in Mark, they have a very good controlling player in Nate. I think they have those couple pieces to help out, the guys who are already there. I think we're going to see them on Sundays quite often this year.
I agree. And plus, they have, one of the most slept-on players in the league, without a doubt, Graham Arnold. Bro, that ginger can ball, bro. Let me just say, he is a fucking beast, right? There are times,
I've seen that man throw up at easily 14 different times throughout my career in paintball. But
Big
I will
point.
say this: he fucking balls.
He gives 110%. Let me tell you, dude, I tell that to my guys, bro. If you guys are not giving me 115% to the point where you're putting your fucking body on the line for 15 minutes, bro, what the fuck are you doing? 15 minutes, put everything on the line. Don't be a fucking pussy.
It's more like 45 minutes if we're being real, but I get you.
I'm talking in-game time.
No, fair enough. But yeah, so for me, high B tier, above Arsenal, above Ironman, above Heat. Diesel's the outlier, so don't even count them. I'm just gonna say top of B tier.
I like that.
They're tied with Diesel,
like
I guess, in a way.
Yeah, except they're less of a wild card. Diesel is just a magical entity. I wish there was their own tier of could be great, could be shit. We don't know. Because that's what it could be for them this year.
Depends on how they wake up.
So I like that for Uprising. Good luck to those boys this year. Let's keep this moving on.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one because I remember this. I remember this vividly on a post. I remember Sea Dogs were like, well, yeah, we're buying our pro spot, and I guarantee we'll do better than NYX. That's what they said in a post. They said they would guarantee they would place higher than NYX.
I love that. I love the emotion. I love the aggression. Boys, you didn't win the semi-pro division. You bought your pro spot, and then you lost your best player to the Ironmen. I'm sorry. All things on paper. That was their best player? I think that was one of their best players. I think he got a lot for them in the semi-pro division.
I don't think he was on the starting five. He had the experience, but I don't think he was part of the starting five. I can be wrong.
I don't expect much from them this year. And hey, maybe they stick around in the league, but going into it right now, this is a team in my head that's fighting for relegation.
Wow.
I would put them above NYX because I would love to see that shit where they're like, hey, imagine NYX gets 20th,
You know,
Sea
it
Dogs
is
get
funny.
19th, and they're like, we told you so.
It is funny to me, Hatch, because Sea Dogs buy their spot. You're rooting for them. Blast Camp buys their spot. Fuck them. They did the same thing. They both got second, or I think Sea Dogs were even a little bit lower in the divisions, but they said, hey, we're ready to go, and they bought their spot.
One of the owners, isn't calling someone a classless piece of shit, right?
That's true.
I would
But
actually
I'll
talk
be
about it with my
honest,
girlfriend
I'm
the other day.
keeping the same energy. If you buy your pro spot, you're not a real pro team. Until they prove to me that they deserve to be in the league, they're the team that is worst in the league in this year.
I guess
in my
that's
opinion.
valid. I want to see them do good because I like that whole shit talk where they're like,
But exactly, I already see
guarantee
it.
we will be better.
You are biased for them though, and and that's what
I
I'm
guess
trying
I
to
am,
point
yeah.
out here. Like, it's already been shown. So I think when you're looking at this team on paper, they weren't the team that won in semi-pro. They lost one of their core players coming into this year. I'm sorry. You shouldn't be up there in the conversation of being a great semi-pro team, and in fact, you should be up there in a conversation of the bottom 18.
But I think you got to remember,
three in the league.
I'm pretty sure they placed either second or third in the overall series in semi-pro, and that itself is nothing to take away from.
That is nothing to take away from. True. They also didn't win.
Valid.
And hell, even Blast Camp was second every event. They weren't second at every event.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck, dude.
I understand
I think-
Blast Camp buying the spot more than Sea Dogs because Blast Camp, they were literally at the
Exactly.
cusp every single event.
I think that's the point I'm trying to make.
That's
It's
valid. I see what you're saying.
Even if we gave Blast Camp all the shit we did for buying their spot, at least they were they had some, okay, Fitz obviously just a dominant ass team, but we showed we beat every other team all the time to make it to be second to them.
Yeah, it was them two and everyone else.
I see
Exactly.
what
Clear
you're saying.
cut.
Yeah, leave them there. That's fine.
Yeah, I think I could agree with that, fighting for relegation. I want to see them up a tier at the end of the year, though. I want to see them to do good by the end of this year.
I mean, and I don't have any personal connection to these guys. I know Josiah, 5-Pack Productions, one of our former guests. He's a big fan of them. I think he's friends with them and he shoots for them.
He's biased because he's Canadian, eh?
Yeah, also they're Canadian. So that's the other thing. Fuck this team and
Valid.
fuck
Just be
everyone
the
on
51st
it. There
state,
should be our
bitch.
51st state. Again, I wish I had another tier so I could go should be our baby back bitches.
Yeah. I like that.
Love you,
actually now.
Christopher. So, all right, let's move on. Next one. I've been in a hot mood tonight, boys. It's because it's early and it's not super late yet. All right, next team, Aftershock. I think this is going to be another A tier team.
I also saw that I saw some practice footage, and Thomas Kim was back with them.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
so let's go
he's on the
through it.
roster
You got
here.
TK. He's back. You got Connor Kelly adding to their aggressive snake
Hosky.
already. Hosky's coming back for another season. LJ Parrish, I'm pretty sure, is coming back this year. Corey
They
Hall's back
merged
for
with the
another
Bears,
year.
so that they have all the Bears.
I'm going to be honest. I don't give a shit
was it
about
the
those
Bears?
players.
Yeah.
They have the
Because,
Baltimore brothers and some other guy.
Yeah, but when you look at their roster, they already had that starting five was already good enough. And so
Yeah.
you're adding in pieces that are great substitutions to give those guys rest. I think this is going to be a pretty damn good team this year.
Yeah,
I
they
think
have
they're
LJ.
kind of in this damage fit conversation. They're up here.
I would agree. It's hard. I would put them below Damage because if they were to go heads up between Damage and Aftershock, I think Damage would win.
I think Aftershock wins.
Really?
Yeah, to be honest.
I wonder what the record is. How often did they play each other last year? Obviously, that's a way
They
too
played
of
each
a
other
niche
quite
question.
a lot actually
Did
last
they?
year. Now
Okay.
that I'm thinking about that,
I mean,
that's
Aftershock
one
got
of those
second.
I don't have
got
off the
second.
top of my head, but they, yeah.
Aftershock did get second at the event. Or at any event.
At AC, yep. Yeah, man, I'm going to put them over Damage. I like Aftershock this year. I think they've got some great pieces to the team. I think they've got great leadership. They've got one of the best coaches in the league. They have an owner who fucking money is no objective, so that's never going to be a problem for them. So, yeah, man.
Didn't they go to
those
JT?
are the things that set you up for success. Yeah, they went to JT, which, fuck yeah, we love that too. They're not
They
shooting
lost
die
Nick
pieces
Sloviak.
of shit this year.
They lost Nick Sloviak. I do know that.
That is sad.
He
I
was,
hate to say
but
it,
he
though.
wasn't.
Nick was a bench player for him.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
They also lost Al Fernandez. There's a reason I didn't talk about that because Al didn't
Who?
play a lot of points for him last year.
Oh.
It's just the
Brando.
truth. I mean, you know, it's It is what it is. If you play a lot of points, you get talked about. There's a reason Hosky became a star last year, and it's because he played a lot of great points for Aftershock.
100%. He was their guy that was going and fucking shit up.
Yeah.
So
that's why he gets to date Tia and you fucking don't. So Tauntauns, they're up next. The French boys are coming on over. They teamed up with the Notorious boys to kind of share their spot now. Brandon,
it's Tauntauns with a
Notorious.
Notorious. It's Tauntaun with a Notorious.
But
What'd you say,
that's
Ryan?
what I mean. It is Notorious's spot, but that's what I was saying. Pull up the roster because it's
Yeah.
it's technically a name, Tauntaun's FSU, but there's a reason if you're watching the video,
Yeah.
I left the FSU off their name.
Yeah, there's the only awesome Notorious guy they got is Mark Franz.
Marky Franz. Yeah, so Marky Franz Jr.
That's it. Everyone else is Tauntauns. Fabrice,
Tauntauns and
Colombo.
Fedorov.
Yeah. Colombo, Fedorov, Marky, Axel, Brees, his brother. Then they got. What the fuck, dude?
Did they have Hugo? Did they have Hugo?
Yes, they got Hugo. They got,
dude, I'm definitely thinking they're definitely above C for sure.
yeah, and then they got heavy
here's
hitter
my
Diego.
thing.
Oh yeah.
That's the one that's pulling it down for me. No. Let me explain. You got to think about this. This is a team, a core of all French players. They are not going to be in their best shape when they come over here to play these tournaments. That is just a truth. They have to fly from Europe to come over here. The reason why it doesn't affect Legion as much is because those guys now live in the States, and especially with all the conflict that started with Russia, most of those guys have lived in the States or someplace around it for years now. I think at first the Tauntauns will have some trouble. I think they can figure it out. I think they're a team that has the support from the European teams to figure it out. They're players who know what the fuck they're doing, and they can be good players in America. But look what happened to them when they came over last year. It didn't go that well. And I think a lot of that was like simple things like jet lag, simple things like playing a different format of paintball. The American paintball is just very different from European paintball, even at the top division.
But it's the Tauntauns though.
And
yes.
that's why I'm kind of, my argument, like high C, low B. That's where I'm putting them because like
I'd put them over Heat for sure.
So
ooh,
here,
I don't.
So
I think in a heads up, I think Heat wins that game.
So Ryan, I hear what you're saying about them. I think for one event, right? For them coming over for one event, yes, that would affect them. I think they're still here. They came and they practiced at Tiki's this past weekend. I think they're staying throughout the whole week, all the way through the tournament. So
that
like
they
all
had a foreign practice.
they'll still be here. Yeah, and fuck, where was I going? The whole year, right? If they stay on that schedule for the whole year, not the travel, doesn't get to them or whatnot, they acclimate. I could see them in B tier towards the end of the year. I can.
I don't disagree with that take, and I could be wrong there. I think the travel is going to be harder on them than they're expecting. Like, it's been a while since we've seen a whole group of American team be able to go over and play in Europe. But I think even when we did, there was a lot of teams like, Impact, they did it a couple times, and Heat did it a couple times. But most of the teams that went over there and dominated in the European League didn't come over here and win in America. It's because they were playing twice the number of events. They were traveling all the time. There are downsides to that, especially if it's a team that's not Impact, where everyone's making money and it's very well taken care of.
Yeah.
I don't think the Tauntauns are going to be bad. I think they're going to be comfortably in the league at the end of the year. But I also don't know how many Sundays we're going to see them in.
Yeah, I don't think they'll be as consistent as Uprising, Arsenal, Iron. I don't even think they'll be as consistent with Heat. Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely think they're better than Heat.
Consistent, though.
I think, yeah, and Hatch, I don't disagree with you. I think if you take the individual players against Heat, I think they are better. I think Heat has some better players. Tauntauns have some better players, but I think it overall goes to Tauntauns. But I think it's the consistency, and it's the understanding the American game of paintball, which is very different. And I think that's going to be something that they're going to have to learn throughout this year, just like Leverage is, just like Sea Dogs is coming into this league.
I mean, but because the thing is, I don't think that they're going to have that hard trying that American ball because the Tauntauns have played together for so long, right, against those American teams.
They've played one event 3 years. The only two players who play consistently against Americans are Hugo and Axel. They are not a part of this conversation. They are fucking pro-American players who know what the fuck they're doing. I'm not worried about them.
Colombo, bro, that guy is a savage.
I don't disagree.
He is so good. I think a lot of the Tauntauns guys. I don't think, me personally, I just don't think we're giving the Tauntauns enough credit.
Prove us wrong.
Fair.
Prove us wrong.
Yeah.
Prove us wrong at the end of the year. It showed. Hopefully, they are as consistent as the teams above them.
Yep.
At the end of the year.
Let's be real. You also have a fucking ticking time bomb on your roster in the name of Diego fucking Sanchez. The last time he was in the pro division in America, he promised hundreds of thousands of dollars to pro players and then never paid them out. And when he did, he paid them in black duffel bags and cash. So let's just put that out there. That's also another sketchy thing going on with their roster and their funding this year.
But we didn't take into account their pit. They got the legend.
They do
himself.
have, holy shit, Oliver. They really do.
They have Oliver Goodin.
Damn. That's enough to fucking carry.
Him and Diego fucking cancel each other out.
Oh.
No, he overpowers Diego by far.
Diego is a liability. That's all I'm saying, man.
Dude.
Yeah,
Oliver, Oliver is a fucking beast. I saw a picture of I think Gary, from Paintball Photography, posted it. You know how he does like those ones where it's like, yep, where it's like those ones from like way a long time ago. It was like Tauntauns like 2004, and sure as shit, Oliver's geared up in there. And I squint my eyes, I go, is that Oliver in there? Damn, that guy's a handsome motherfucker.
I think that's the other thing too, Hatch. The name Tauntauns have been around, but it's not Dynasty. It's not the same dudes from that 02, 03 team that was the first good European team we ever saw in paintball. It's a lot of their sons, but it's not all the same exact guys.
But I mean, I think Colombo and Axel and a couple more of those French guys that I don't know off the tip of my tongue. I think those guys they have been playing with forever.
They're fucking French, bro.
I agree.
When the chips go down, they will surrender.
Yeah, but the thing is, right, with this Tauntauns, they got a little bit of American blood in them.
Biased, Hatch. Like,
they have a little bit of American blood in them now.
No. But listen to this. Teams that you don't have like a personal connection to, like an Oliver or something, you're like, you would have laughed at that joke, but you're like,
I wasn't even bringing Oliver into the equation.
Oliver,
I wasn't even thinking of Oliver until Brando said that. I was mostly thinking of Axel and Hugo and Colombo.
Fair enough. I just think they have challenges going into this year that some of these other teams don't.
Oh, 100%. I'll give you that. They have the challenges, but I think that they're professionals, and I don't think that's going to slow them down.
All right. Let's go to the next team then. Fucking X Factor. Who wants to bring it up? I don't want to do it.
X Factor. They got Archie back. They got Archie back. That was the addition. Did they lose anyone? I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't think so
not
either.
Notable, at least. So they got a solid 8, dude. I think there's a good argument. Do you put them in S tier? I think you could have an argument for S tier.
It's hard because you can't put them above PB Fit as the best kids in Texas anymore, as of right now.
Yes. Well,
my thing with X Factor, so we're talking about consistency. When has X Factor been consistently good? They've been, consistently making Sundays, consistently in the conversation, but they've never had a time where they have just fucking taken over for a year at a time. They've had tournaments where they've done it.
Since Rainey's been there. I
think there's only a handful of teams that actually have ever done that, period. That I can count on, 3 fingers. I think
X Factor, high A team, bar none. Like, definitely going to be one of the teams in the quarterfinals, probably most of the events this year.
You're putting them over Aftershock?
Yeah.
I am putting them over Aftershock. I think
I like that.
having Archie back is big. The only person they lost was Axel, because he's going to the Tauntauns. But you replaced him with your fucking snake player that you played with since you were 12 years old. Ryan Brand's still leading the way. Billy wasn't slowing down last year. I mean, the dude's aging, but he still is fucking sending it like he's 12. So, I
like where they're at right now.
I'm going to be honest. I think we could say either they're above Fit even going into the season.
Off of consistency, they're better than Fit. right? Because they obviously placed farther and went farther in Sunday most times.
Yeah, if we're talking season rankings, I think season rankings, they may still be over Fit this year. I think Fit may have some higher peaks, but I think there's still some young guys who are putting it all together.
Yeah, I think
X Factor just has too many experienced guys. Sorry,
yeah,
Brandon.
I think any team that goes and plays in the finals or wins the tournament, they're gonna have to go through X Factor at some point.
Yeah,
through Sunday.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'll settle for like a high A tier. Yeah.
You know, I think yeah.
I know
here,
it's like
they're not quite S tier.
Yeah.
They're like skimming at that line in my head.
They're right there. So
Exactly.
yeah, high A
Okay.
tier. High A tier is fine.
All right, I agree with that. Last one up, Hatch. I'll let you do it. It's your boys.
Impact.
It's your favorite people in the world.
not at all. But
Your
Impact,
favorite
let me
team to
just
pit
say,
for. You love cleaning their pods and filling their guns with air. I know it
Zero
just makes your
chance.
dick so fucking hard when
Zero
Mike Urena
chance.
comes in and says, "Hey Hatch, here's my gun."
Not
I know
anymore.
it fucking. Little Pecker just goes.
He goes,
Not anymore.
I gotta go clean up now.
But I will say, Impact, you have to put them in S tier just off of the moves that they've made.
I think the way I'd put it, they're below Russian Legion just because Legion's been together for longer. But I'm sorry, you have Marcelo, fucking
Rainey.
Tyler, Rainey, fucking Nick Laval, goddamn Brandon Cornell, Justin Cornell,
JC.
Tyler Panaleo. Like, there's no bad people on that roster,
No.
bro.
No,
Like,
and they have Dalton.
Yeah, the dude I forget about is Dalton Vanderbilt. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, it's such a fucking stacked roster. I would say, again, my only argument for why they shouldn't be below or above Russian Legion is just years together. All those guys have played together for a long time, but it's been, years since that's happened. It's been on different teams, not all like as one unit together trying to win for a whole season. And I think there might be some ego challenges at first with that, but I think if the second that they all just listen to Dave and do what he wants to do, they will win every single game.
Yeah. Impact till I DIE, you know what I'm saying?
For one season. Shout out, dog.
Impact and Legion are definitely in a tier of their own.
In my opinion, Impact is the goddamn evil empire this year, man. They are the Yankees of professional paintball, bro. Give them fucking pinstripes, and I would be like, all right, Aaron Judge is on the field. Like, Jesus Christ, man. They literally spent all the money. They got all the guys, and fuck, they might do it. There's a reason the Yankees have the most fucking World Series wins.
It's crazy. Like, Impact is now kind of like that. With all those roster moves, they're kind of like the Slay the Dragon of this year. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, they're the big team to beat.
That's why I've called them the evil empire for a while, but it's made more sense this year than any time before, because that's what they are, bro. They're the fucking Death Star, They were
Dynasty's the rebellion this year, bro. What the fuck's going on?
It's 100%. We've changed the tides really quickly.
100%. And
and I think that's why everyone loved Fit winning so much. They were the fucking Ewoks fighting back with their fucking tree traps against goddamn Darth Vader and the fucking
shout out
Imperial
to the Ewoks.
troopers.
Star Wars Battlefront 2. There's a game mode where you can Ewok hunt. You know what I'm saying? Where you're in a pitch black as a fucking stormtrooper.
It's like Infection, but for Battlefront. Yeah.
And dude, the Ewoks, that shit's like nom, bro.
I was
They're
gonna
in the
say
trees.
Chavez just looks like an Ewok, so that's why that metaphor works. But yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
Shabby. I posted that story the other day of watching the Paintball Fit documentary thing, and it was of Chavez on the screen. This motherfucker responded to me, quote, "I know that beaner." End quote. Thanks, Shabby. I'm glad that you recognize yourself, buddy.
Hell yeah.
So,
shout out to
yeah,
Shabby. Shabby's a fucking beast.
Oh, it made me chuckle. But yeah, all right. Brando, you
like
want to
this.
go through the list, remind everyone where we placed everyone down?
Yep. So we're gonna go bottom up. So D tier, who we think is gonna be fighting for relegation, clawing not to go down. It's gonna be New England Hurricanes, NYX, and the Sea Dogs down there in D tier.
Go right to left. Go right to
Right,
left.
you're right. Sorry. So Sea Dogs, NYX, Hurricanes in D. Next tier above them in C, we got Leverage, Aftermath, NRG Elite, and the Tauntauns. Then right in the middle tier in B, we have Heat, Ironman, Arsenal, Uprising, and the fucking wild card, AC Diesel.
Again, it's in B tier. That doesn't matter. It's in fucking whatever tier it wants to be in. Diesel.
Say whatever you want. They were dangerously close to relegation last year.
That's what I'm saying. I'm almost like, I'm not really putting them on my list. So they're a wild card.
Yeah, they.
That is their own.
Wherever the cards
tier,
fall. Wherever the cards fall for them.
Yeah, you can't blame me for that one, all right? I told you I'm going to be wrong, okay?
So above them, we have the A tier. We have Infamous, Dynasty, Damage, Aftershock, PB Fit, and X Factor. And then in the S tier, we have Impact and Russian Legion. Russian Legion being there at the top.
Rounded it out. Yep.
We'll see.
I will say, before you started that, you said, I mean, this looks right. Yeah. Kind of gut check when you just look at this real quick. It's kind of like, okay. Yeah, I think the only one that, looking back, we may be wrong about is Tauntauns. I'm not going to change it. I do think, that's where my gut checking is at right now. It wouldn't surprise me if they're higher up, towards the end of the year. So that's just my all honesty about that pick. But yeah, I'm proud of everything else. I think that's where it's going to be. So, hey, we'll see. As we always say, see if we're right or see if we're wrong. You got to make that at home. We do have one last thing we got to do for this one is for Tampa Bay itself. I got to go over contractually my picks for the NXL event on Kurgo.com. So as everyone knows, if you listen to the show, last year we did all of our gambling picks with Kurgo. They are the only sports book that offers betting odds for paintball picks. Obviously, if you're not a Patreon and you're listening to this Tuesday after the event, you fucked up. You should be a Patreon, so that way you get access to these picks. But we also fucked up our scheduling too. I talked to Fitz last week and he wasn't able to do the pick show this week, so I'm going to add them in here. That way they're still out there. They were made on air before the fucking event, took place. So that way all the, the records and everything can still stand. And like last year, I will be keeping track of all the picks that I make this year. So that way we can have a final total and you guys can laugh at me or you can say in awe that I'm the best person and best gambler you've ever met. I hope it's the second one. Let's go through this real quick. I'm going to try to be quick about it just because I know some of you probably will just skip through this because it's been after the weekend happened. So getting into it, Friday, 7:20 a.m. We got Aftershock playing Uprising. Aftershock, they're a negative 136 favorite. I'm going to take them in that match. Dynasty, negative 164 versus Arsenal in the second match of that set. I'm going to take Dynasty in this one. They're a little bit of a heavy favorite, so you're not going to get much odds back on them. But I think they're going to get this one done, so I'm okay to throw a couple units on it and see what happens. Friday, 8:20, we're going to have Infamous versus Leverage. Infamous is negative 228 versus Leverage plus 146. I'm going to take Infamous on this one. As we were saying earlier, I don't know if Leverage is going to be ready to do it right away first game of the event. Also, quick note, if you are unfamiliar with betting odds, the way that they work, the negative 228 that I said there for Infamous, the easiest way to think about it, if you placed a bet for $228, you would win $100. That's what the negative number stands for. If it's a positive odds, so Leverage was plus 146, if I placed $100 down on that bet, I would win $146 back. So that's what the plus odds mean next to it. Just know that, if it's plus odds, you're getting more money. If it's negative odds, you're getting less money than you put down. So Ironman, they're the next up, 820 set, negative 251 on them versus NYX plus 160. I'm gonna take Ironman in this one. You're not gonna get much money back, not great odds on them, but I think they're gonna win the game. 920 Impact, negative 228 versus Uprising plus 146. I'm gonna take Impact on this one. Very self-explanatory. Heat, this is gonna be a tighter one. Heat, negative 110 versus Arsenal, negative 136. I am gonna take Arsenal. Give me Arsenal on this one. I want to see if ABJ and those boys can get it done quick into their first event altogether under the new name as well. Bring it back the old school branding. 10:20, we're moving on to that set on Friday. Aftershock, negative 251 versus Leverage plus 160. Give me Aftershock. I like the boys in this one. Same thing, though. You're not getting great odds, so you got to put down a little bit of money or just place a couple units. Make sure you get a dub down. Dynasty, negative 371 plus versus NYX plus 221. I'm probably not going to put money on this just because Dynasty is such a huge odds favorite. You're not making much money back. And let's say NYX do win the game. you're probably going to lose a lot. So maybe want to keep this one off your records. But if you love Dynasty, it's not a bad bet if you just want to see a number go green while you're watching your boys. 1120 Impact -176 versus Infamous +117. Give me Impact in this one. I like the odds here. It's pretty tight for being Infamous. I think they're going to get this one done. But again, this goes back to how well is Impact going to be able to get those egos to play together on that first day of the tournament before Bart and Dave have had a chance to yell at them on Friday night, which they probably will. Heat -136, second game of this 1120 set on Friday. Heat -136, Ironman -110. Give me the Ironman in this match. I want to see if those boys can get it done. Jerry Caro, see if he can fight back a little bit. They are the underdog in this match, although it is still negative odds, but you're getting better odds on them. So yeah, let's see if Ironman can get it done. 1250 damage, -435, aftermath +12 or +251. Damage is going to win this game. I'm pretty sure of that. I may not bet it just because of those odds. You're going to have to put a lot of money down to get some money back from damage. And again, if Aftermath wins this game, it might be a liability for you. So kind of, if you're a homer out there, maybe take damage. If not, maybe just leave this one off your card for the weekend. Second game of the 1250 set, Paintball Fit, -209, Canes +135. You guys know me. I always take Paintball Fit. I just know that if Paintball Fit comes up, I'm taking them no matter what their odds or fucking chances are. I'm gonna take the boys. 150 in the afternoon. Diesel is playing Sea Dogs. Diesel -323. Sea Dogs are +196. Give me Diesel. I hope I don't get Diesel though. NRG Elite -117. Tauntauns -129. This one's going to be a close one. I'm going to give it to the boys on the Tauntauns though. I think they can beat Energy Elite. But again, like I was just talking about in the tier list, this may be one we just want to sit out. I'm not too sure who's going to win this game. Maybe you just want to save your money there, but for the sake of the show, I will pick Tauntauns. 250 on Friday, we got the Red Legion versus Aftermath. Red Legion -556, Aftermath +293. One of the biggest odds we've seen yet during the event.
Jeez.
I mean, Red Legion, they're going to win this game. Again, I'm not even going to touch it though, because you got to the way that reads, you have to place $556 down to receive $100 back. That's not worth it to me. If you're going to bet smart out there, keep this game off your fucking list. But if you want to throw $5 down so that way you can add this to your percentage at the end of the week and say, hey, I got this one right, feel free to do it. X Factor -323 versus the Canes +196. Give me X Factor on this for all the reasons we talked about during the tier list. Damage -435, Sea Dogs +251. Again, damage is going to win this, but I don't even know if it's worth it to place those numbers on them. They're thinking they're going to go 2-0 into the event. And hey, maybe you might want to sprinkle Sea Dogs or Aftermath in this one. Maybe they drop one of these first two games. It is the first event of a season. I don't know. There might be some value there. I'm not going to say do it for the sake of the show. But if my account says I did that on Tuesday, don't blame me. Don't look at me. Paintball Fit -251, Tauntauns +160. You guys already know what it is. Let's go Paintball Fit. And then last game on Friday, 450, Red Legion -251, Diesel +160. Give me Red Legion. And X Factor -323 versus Energy Elite +196. Give me X Factor. So that's the first 20 games. We got 20 more to go through. Let's get into those on Saturday. 720 starting us off. Uprising -176. Leverage +117. Give me Uprising in this one. The boys can get it done. I believe in Nate and Mark in this one. Arsenal -189. NYX +125. I'm liking Arsenal in this one. I think those are pretty decent odds for what we're thinking NYX might be coming into this year. Maybe Nico will fuck me up. Maybe he won't. I don't know, man. We'll see what happens. Give me Arsenal. Aftershock -176 versus Infamous at 820. Infamous is a +117 underdog. I'm going to take Aftershock in this one, too. I think those boys can get it done. Dynasty -189. Ironman +125. Now, this one, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to wait to bet this one until we get right on into Saturday's games. I'm going to see how both these teams are looking on Friday. As of this current moment, I would say Dynasty going into it. But again, maybe hold off on this one. See how good both of these teams are looking on Friday and make your decision going into Saturday when we're closer to it. 920, Impact -278, Leverage +176. Give me Impact. I kind of like those odds too. That's not super high as we've seen on some of these other games. I think Impact get that one done more often than not. Heat -154, NYX +102. These are great odds for Heat. Give me Heat all day on this. Infamous -122, Uprising -122. So essentially a pick'em game. They're the same odds for both teams.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go with Uprising.
Yeah.
I think Infamous, I could definitely see the world where Infamous gets it done. I see why they have this at the odds that they do, because I could see either of these teams winning. For the sake of the show, I'm going to back Uprising. I think they might be able to get it done, especially if they're able to have kind of a nice confidence-building win over Leverage earlier in the day. It might be good getting into this next one. Ironman Arsenal, -117 for Ironman, -129 for Arsenal. Give me Arsenal on this one. Fuck it. I want to see ABJ win some games, so I'm going to ride with them.
That's what I'm talking about.
There's not a lot of thought going into that one, so please be with caution at home. 11-20, Impact -122, Aftershock -122, so we got another pick'em game. This is going to be a good game. I do agree with that, Hatch. It's going to be a close game. I think someone's going to win this by a point. I don't think there's going to be a huge point spread.
Some overtime.
So Impact, give them to me. I think the S-tier team, I think they're going to get it done. But again, maybe if they're not looking great on Friday, maybe don't put a lot on this game. It could be one of those that they drop. It could be one of those that maybe they pick up. I'm not fully sure. It's a hard one for me to call, but I am going to say Impact. Heat +125, Dynasty at -189. Second game in the 11-12 set. Give me Dynasty in that matchup. I like those odds. They aren't super high for Dynasty, but I think they do get this done more often than not, so I'm comfortable taking that bet. 1250, Aftermath is going to be playing the Sea Dogs. Aftermath -176, Sea Dogs +117. Give me Aftermath. I think Sea Dogs, maybe they have a good first event just because we've seen that pass with the rookie teams, but I'm sorry, boys. I just don't have much respect for you as a pro team as of yet. You got to show me something in the league before I'm going to start, having some words about you. Canes versus the Tauntauns. Canes are a -136 team. Two Tauntauns, -110. Originally when I was looking at this, I was thinking Canes. I think give me the Tauntauns on this one.
Hell yeah.
I do think, they're going to be able to get this one done. I think the Canes, it's going to be such a hard event for them just because of like some of the things that we talked about. Not having their main coach, losing, was it one of their guys?
I think two of their guys retired.
Yeah, two of their guys retired. It's going to be a rough road for the Canes this year. I hope they're able to do good, but yeah, give me the Tauntauns there. Damage versus Diesel. Damage -154, Diesel +102. Give me Damage on that, just for
Damage over
consistency's
Diesel?
sake. Damage over Diesel, but just for consistency's sake. Again, this may be one of those ones that you want to wait until 11 or 10 on Saturday to actually place to see how they did on the first day. I think if we're looking, at last year's results, I would take Damage, but maybe Diesel comes out and they just understand this layout really great and they're looking unstoppable. So yeah, caution on that one. The other game at 150 is Paintball Fit versus Energy Elite. It's Fit. I'm not even going to tell the odds, but Fit's -176, so give me them. Legion versus Sea Dogs, they're up at 250. Red Legion is -435 versus Sea Dogs +251. Who is clicking? Someone keeps clicking. I hear it a lot in the background.
Sorry, that was
me. You're good. Red Legion, like I said, they're huge underdogs. They're probably going to win the game. I took them on my spreadsheet, but don't lose your money doing something dumb, trying to put $1,000 on Legion to win $200 back. X Factor's next up versus Tauntauns. X Factor -189, Tauntauns +125. Give me X Factor in this one. I think they're gonna go 4-0, and I think we're gonna see them in Sunday. And then we also got right after that Diesel versus Aftermath. I lost my spot on the page. Diesel -176, Aftermath +117. Give me Diesel here. I might get Diesel, but give me Diesel here. Energy Elite +102. Canes -154. Energy Elite, they're an underdog. You can get some plus money on them. I'm gonna go for the Canes. I want to see them win a game this event. I'm gonna ride for them here. I think this would be one that they could get done versus Energy Elite. So again, we'll see what happens on Saturday. 450 Red Legion -164 versus Damage +108. Another highlight game for the prelims. That's gonna be a great one. I'm gonna take Red Legion in it. Again, based off previous years' looks, maybe I might change my mind when we get into the event itself. So. Be cautionary out there. Don't place any huge bets on this before we see any games actually be played. But going into it, I'm taking Red Legion. And then last game of the prelims, X Factor versus Paintball Fit. Although I think X Factor's probably going to go 4-0. Give me Paintball Fit. They're a -110 underdog on this. X Factor's -136. hey, you know, I got to back the boys, and hopefully they can win me more money, because I'm not going to lie, they won me quite a lot of money last year. It was fucking disgusting. So, yeah, that is my picks for the prelims. They've been made live on the show, as they are every single time, and I have them all listed down on a spreadsheet, which I will keep track through the event and keep updated, so we can all laugh at me if I'm wrong, and, well, we can all fucking celebrate me if I'm right. So, there we go.
Hell yeah.
I did it.
There we go.
Can one of you guys say something so I can drink some water? My throat hurts.
Yeah, I got you, dude. So, I mean, going to the event in the next 3 days, I heard it's going to rain a little bit. So I wonder if the weather's going to play into account a little bit, you know?
It's always interesting if it does.
For sure. I mean, especially like Florida, you know? It rains for 15 minutes. Now it's like you got to slip and slide for, you know, the next hour.
You got a puddle party.
Then it dries up, and now it's black sand muck. So,
all right. Well, fuck yeah. Boys, last thing I want to talk about before we get out of here, so let's get into that, because it's already getting a long show, and I know our boy Hatch needs to get out of here, and we still got to record the post show. So, let's talk about All That Matters real quick. Just came out last night for people who, I think it's you have to order an item, a certain item in their shop or something like that. I'm going to be honest, since I worked on it, I had a link sent to me, so thank you, Miko, for sending me that link so I could watch it myself. So I didn't have to buy something, so that's why I'm not familiar. But I will say this, go buy something and go watch it. It is absolutely fucking beautiful. Brandon, did your recording finish?
It did.
Nice. So Brandon's going to watch it on the plane. He bought a hat, so he'll be able to have access to that, But yeah, man, All That Matters, it is beautiful. I watched it again last night. I will say the one thing that I was a little upset about is they did have to change some of the music choices for some of the scenes. Probably, you know, I don't know why, but I'm going to guess probably due to licensing issues. So they could play them at the premiere, but on the version that came out online, they weren't able to have them attached, which is sad, because there were some good songs that had to get left on the cutting room floor. But I mean, past that, it is an hour and 12 minutes of some of the most beautiful shots and footage of paintball I've seen in the last 10 years. Easily.
Yeah, if it's anything like the trailers that I've seen.
It's all the trailers.
Dude.
Like, that's the thing. Usually you watch a trailer and you're like, oh, that was like, you know, 30 seconds of like the whole movie. Cool. No, the whole thing is that fucking cinematic. And it's just beauty shots and glory and gratuitous violence, and it's amazing, and yes, everyone really should watch the piece.
Yeah.
I think, Ryan, one thing that you swept over really quick, or I guess brushed over, you worked on that. That's a huge flex, and I think you need to, you know,
we've talked about it a lot.
That's something that's fucking sick, and I think you need to, you know, congratulate yourselves. Maybe hit the soundboard button with a clap. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm not going to give myself a clap, because
I would.
I did no editing. I filmed at NXL events, so yes, I got a shot a fuck ton, and I've seen a lot of my shots in the piece. So
that's some of the hardest part.
I will give myself credit for that. But this is not my movie. I did not do nearly amount of the work that Miko, Phil, and Alex did on it. So I want to make sure that they get all the credit, because they should. But yes, myself, Verbal, Kwitsky, you know, there's Darren, Art, like a lot of the people who know what the fuck we're doing in, you know, paintball videography came together to work on this. And I think we're all pretty proud in how it came out, you know. We all had to trust Miko and kind of let his vision take place, and I think it did. So when people watch it, I think you'll 100% kind of instantly see, you know, just how much the labor of love a lot of us put into, you know, the shots that we were able to get was.
100%. Paintball is one of those things where you're not going to make $1 billion out of it. You know what I'm saying? This is everything that these guys,
a full-time job, Hash.
Everything that these guys are doing to make that film was all from the heart.
Passion
all for the
project.
love of the game.
Right.
Yeah. And a lot of headbands. That did help sell it as well. That was
Absolutely.
every time you bought a headband from Hormesis, you were helping fund that project and an Iron Kid. So, but yeah, my money makes the world go around. People keep asking why we don't have a drive to survive, because we don't have millions of dollars to throw at something. That's how much that show costs.
One day, dude. One day. When we get
never.
when we get like 50 Diegos, you know, where they're just like willing to pay out whatever the fuck. You know?
And then dip after one event because their cartel father said they can't spend any more money.
Nah,
I don't know how great that is for paintball. I'm gonna be honest.
We need more Mark Johnsons and Barts.
Guys, we need more Dan Bilzerians. Let's get more Dan Bilzerians.
Now we're on it.
That's what we're fucking around. God, I figured it out. PTG, they've already solved the problem. Thank you, our fucking Lord and Savior, Marcelo Margot and Tyler Harmon, for finding Dan Bilzerian.
Thank you, guys.
Let's get the
We got
pedophiles
fake
out.
seal in
And
paintball now. Let's
Danny.
go. He claimed he survived 200 days in buds. I fucking love it. Yes, that's our boy.
I love that clip when it was like the Las Vegas shooting, like from the hotel.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and then
he's
he
like,
asks a cop for his gun, even
he's
though
like, "Hey,
he's
give
not
me
a
a gun." And the
credentialed
guy's like,
law enforcement
"What
officer
the
in any
fuck
way,
are you
shape, or
doing?"
form. Yeah, we love
Did
Dan
he really?
Bilzerian.
Yeah,
The
he's
same
like, "Hey,
dude
give me a
who
gun,
$50
give me a gun, I can
million
help, I can help."
marketing money
Wild.
for his company Ignite, while essentially just paying his mortgage for his luxurious home in the Hollywood Hills. We love Dan Bilzerian.
He has a private paintball field. I'm trying to go there.
Fuck yeah! Dan Bilzerian! He shoots guns with bitches with their tits out. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm not a fan.
You just
So
named
that's
off
my
things that
opinion.
sound great.
Yeah, those were all legal things that I just named off.
Titties and guns. Yep.
Oh, also, fun fact, his money came from his dad's inheritance, not him playing poker. There's a paper trail on that. That's a true fact. But with all that being said, let's bring this show on to the end because we gotta wrap it up and get into the post-show hatch. So
Yep.
before we do that, we need a code word of the week because you're here and Brandon left, so we can't do a cool guy.
Absolutely right. So I wrote this one down. This might have something to it. So I wrote. Oh shit! Hold on. You might not be able to see it, but
No, I got you. I'm gonna do the expand
boom.
on you.
It's on the road again.
You need to turn your lights on because we cannot see
Sorry.
that.
Check me out. Boom.
You should just have your lights on for the podcast. Maybe you're
On the
recording a
road
video.
I came in here so quick I didn't even realize, but I was doing so much quick cleaning real quick just to try to tidy up the setup because I'm leaving like 30 minutes from now, maybe probably less than that, but
Well, fuck yeah. So on the road again, we saw it now. That is going to be the code word of the week for this week. And I thought that would be enough time to bring Brandon back.
I'll stretch. So what?
Okay. What
Oh,
do you?
I don't have to. Thank God, I don't have
Yeah,
to.
you don't have to. Brandon's back. It's fine. So Brandon, thank you for being back. Great timing because we need you to introduce our cool guy of the week.
oh, my cool guy, cool girl of the week, and Hatch.
What?
I
What? You're so sexist, bro.
dude, I
My
would be
homie Hatch
surprised.
hates women, man.
Dude, all right. So this lady, Hatch, have you seen this? It's
Oh God.
Biotic Nova. She beat both Elden Ring DLCs at once.
Oh, with the dance pad.
No, she's using one controller on PC and then one controller on PS5.
Yeah, with one.
Going,
Okay.
one hand
I've
on
seen-
each, going back and forth.
Yep. Let me tell you, I have seen. Not only is she's not going back and forth. She's doing
At the
them
same
both
time.
at the exact same time.
But
absolutely,
you can
this
see
is
her
skill.
head going back and
Yep.
forth. But
And let me tell you,
hands
so
are still moving.
I saw one that was completed today where the chick has a controller in her hand and she's using a dance pad, like a Dance Revolution dance pad for the other game.
So I saw that one a while ago. This is the first time I've seen the two controllers one. Go fucking touch grass. Like
That one's
Jesus
fucking
Christ.
crazy, bro. Holy shit.
I will say, okay, how hard do you need to make this video game? Like, how bored is your life? Like, oh my god, man, she's literally claw controller gripping two different controllers and playing two instances of Elden Ring in the same fight at the same time.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm being
Ma'am.
honest, if I'm being really honest,
Go
hey,
marry someone. Jesus Christ.
all I'm saying is Consort Radon, that final boss fight of the DLC, got nerfed. All I can say is I beat him 5 times before he got nerfed. That's all I'm saying.
Oh my god,
so
Hatch,
without a doubt-
fucking chill. Did you do it with fucking one hand on one controller while doing it in another game on
Not
another
even
hand on
close.
another
Not
controller at
even
the same
close.
time? Oh, then
Not
you're a
even
fucking
close.
pussy.
Not even, bro.
I hate
Still beat
Elden
him.
Ring, 'cause
Still,
that's
hey, still beat
literally
him.
what
Still
it
beat him.
is.
They
Hatch
can't
just
take that away
showed
from
why
me.
I hate that game because they're like, oh well, actually they nerfed the boss and I beat it before that, so I'm better than anyone who beats it now because I beat it when it wasn't nerfed and I'm just a better gamer.
Not even. All I'm saying is,
Not even.
one,
accurate.
she's a better gamer than I am because one, I can't even play
She's better
fucking 2
gamer than I
games
am,
by itself.
100%. I gotta give that to her. But my thing, honestly, is, ma'am, like, there's better ways we can spend our time.
Not even.
Even gaming,
Elden
there's
Ring,
better
baby.
ways we can spend our time.
Yeah.
And you play Elden Ring, but not two separate versions of it at the same. Like, I think honestly, what's more impressive to me is the no-hit run from Dark Souls 1 to Elden Ring, rather than the fucking
That one's pretty
2
crazy.
times. Like, just chill out, okay? You're
Considering
doing it for
that, like
views.
that whole run, if I am correct, it takes like weeks to totally do.
So no, actually, it's really not that long of a run in all things considered. It's about, I think the guy who played it was about something like 12 to 16 hours of actual game time, but it took him years because it's such a hard run because you have to be perfect for that whole 12 to 16 hours. And if you mess up once, you have to reset it. So that's why
especially because it's no hit. There are areas in Dark Souls, especially Dark Souls 2, where you are supposed to be quote unquote fucked in that situation. Right? Where it's like you're running past everybody, boom. There's a guy standing in the fucking doorway that you cannot squeeze past. It's where you have to do some kind of maneuver to not get hit. It's
called speedrunning tech.
For sure.
We know how to skip shit. but yeah, so all right. Cool girl of the week. First one of those?
That's valid.
Nah, not the first. I think like maybe second or third.
I honestly think second for sure.
We still haven't had a female guest, so we're getting there, all right? We're becoming DEI.
Well, you know. No.
Let's have
That's
Dan
no longer in
Bilzerian's
law.
girlfriend on.
Do you
Now
not
we're
wanna
never
be
gonna have
DEI,
one.
Amanda?
We are never gonna have one.
Well, I'm confused. What? Okay.
One of the comments is how many Adderalls did you take?
Are you talking about the video that we just?
Yeah.
The girl we beat in Elden Ring.
Okay.
Some of these are so fucking funny.
That's crazy.
Hatch is reading internet comments now. Great content for the podcast. Hell yeah.
This one says, "Can you be my final boss?"
God, I want to put a gun in my mouth. All right, so that's everything we got to talk about on the show. Cool guy and code word. Make sure you go ahead, leave a rating on the show. 5 stars. That seriously takes a couple seconds to do. Definitely helps us out though. More people get to listen to the show. We get access to better advertisers and all that stuff. So really, please, it's free. Do it. Leave a subscription while you're there as well. Subscribe on YouTube. Hit the follow button on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Same thing. Same reason. Makes us look good. Costs you no money at all. And we definitely appreciate it when you guys do. Patreon.com. That one does cost money, but for it, you get access to early versions of the podcast, ad-free versions of the show. You get access to bonus content. They're always the first people to see new content that we have available. So it definitely pays to be over there on the Patreon side of things. You can get signed up for a free trial, check it out, see if it's worth your time. And yeah, we appreciate all of our Patreons who do support the show. We also got the sponsors, Liquid IV. Head over there, liquidiv.com. Use promo code Mafia_Moffitt. Save 20% off and get free shipping on your order. We also got NECTR, NECTR.energy, NECTR.energy. That's their website. Head over there, promo code MafiaProductions, all one word. Just get a buy 2, get 1 free, and free shipping as well from them. And then last but not least, Welts Clothing. Head over to weltsclothing.com. Use promo code FTS, and yeah, save a little bit of money on your checkout from Welts Wednesday. Boys, that is everything. That is that's a podcast, that's picks, that's a tier list. That was a lot of things that we did tonight.
Absolutely.
So we got to get going because we got to record a post show, and then Hatch, you gotta drive to go to Tampa Bay. So without further ado, for Stephen Hatch and for Brando Baird, my name has been Ryan Mafia Moffitt, and this has been episode number 136 of From the Sidelines. We will catch you guys on the next one. Hatch, do that thing you do.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.